Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, hi. Oh, crud, I just realized something. Oh no, is the game volume broken again? Shoot! Wait. Wait, let me click again. No, is it broken? Come on. Oh, sadness. Don't break already. Let me just try again. I don't hear anything. Oh no, stop breaking. Let me just restart it and see if that fixes things because that's really bothering me. Like, come on, you were working good yesterday. Or actually, no, you're working good earlier today. Come on, please fix yourself. Gosh darn it. Oh man, worst case, I'm gonna have to just restart my laptop. Oof. Come on, you know you want to work.
Arknights.
Okay, it's kind of working. I mean, I cannot hear it for some reason, but I see that OBS is catching something. I mean, I can't hear it, but as long as you guys can hear stuff, it's all good. Why does it keep doing this? My settings like to break itself, but oh well, too bad, self. I wonder why. Volume settings, let me check it out real quick. But why? I feel like sneezing. I think I'm allergic to looking at my settings. Okay, sneezed once. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine if it wants to be like that. Like, I see how it is, settings. Last week you didn't want to work properly. This week you don't want to work properly. I don't think my computer likes Shatterpoint. It just wants to keep breaking. I mean, it liked the first time, but then maybe the second time, but afterwards it's like, nah. Maybe my computer likes Mandragora. That could be it. And it's like, how dare you call her a brat? Since you called her a brat, I'm not gonna work for you. I see how it is. But yeah, I can't hear anything at all for some reason. Not even when I click on random things that's supposed to make a sound. Like, usually when I click on the volume thing, it makes a little bing sound, but nope. And I'm too lazy to restart things at this point. So we go, computer. I see how it is. Watch. When I do the event that's coming out, and then when I do the next chapter, it's gonna be like, ah yes, I'm working perfectly fine. We're down 13 civilians and 9 soldiers. Rhodes Island. They're proving to be quite troublesome. General, we finished the head count on the remaining Dublin soldiers. Give them one chance. Those willing to join us will enter the mercenary squad. As for those who aren't, you already know what to do with them. Yes, sir. Not your best showing, General Manfred. I didn't expect for Confessarius' messenger to still be here. Both the leader and the regent are concerned about the battle situation unfolding in this inconspicuous corner. I trust the Sanguine Arc is no exception. For a recap what happened last time, unfortunately, our boy that we were trying to rescue is replaced with an imposter, but hey, we got another ally instead of a lovely messenger who... It's technically our first time meeting her, but nah, we know her from Kelsey's event. And Mandragora got smooshed by Manfred. After all, his generosity last night took a lot of pressure off of us. Oh right, he wanted me to let you know. The atmosphere here is too filthy.
he doesn't plan to wait around much longer. At the moment, he is in the unfortunate process of requisitioning the property of a factory owner and will be enjoying a late dinner. Requisitioning? I do hope that whoever the prince requisitioned, the factory from isn't one of our partners. Does that matter? These inefficient factories provide us with hardly anything worthwhile. All they do is breed pests. His patience will only last until tomorrow night. If you are unable to provide him with a satisfactory banquet, then he will sweep these filthy streets as he sees appropriate. Is this the Sanguinarch's intent? Or the decision of the military commission?
Oh, is it that soft for some reason? Let me adjust the volume a bit. I don't know why all the settings are breaking. Like, what the heck?
Always fussing over these irrelevant details. This is exactly why you've been pinned down in this little dump. His Highness expected more of you. Please report back to the Prince. We are deeply grateful for his assistance, and will proceed with the next phase of the operation. Very well. We look forward to seeing your results. Heading off to war isn't nearly as much of a slog as talking to these royal court people, eh? So this is where you've been hiding. I assure you, I haven't been slacking off. You can stop cradling that armor you nearly lost. Tell me, which of your old acquaintances did that to you? The one with the explosives, or the one with the sword? Sorry, it hurts so bad I can't remember anything.
Sure, you can't remember anything, but thank you for not selling out W. I mean, I don't know who destroyed or almost destroyed Hodor's arm. Yeah, Manfred, you heard nothing.
Since they left you with another arm to pick up a sword with, it seems whoever it was still has a soft spot for you. It's almost daybreak. Yeah, looks like it. Stop leaning against the wall and daze. Break time's over. Mercenaries aren't eligible for sick leave, right? Let's go. The battle is far from over.
Usually for game sounds, I like using my speaker. And only for like collabs, I'll use headphones just because it's kind of awkward if my family walks in and they're like, who the heck are you talking to? It's like, friend? What friend? Friend? Yes, friend. Get out of my room! Except I don't say that last part. Unless it's to my brothers and I'm like, GTFO. How many injured are there? Takes him to get treated right now. I'll also help out. Oh, I haven't seen this medic in a while. Will I use earphones in this case? No. I don't wanna. It's too hot. I'm gonna sweat. It's gonna get gross. Thank you. Bring Harmo over here. We have to speed up the evacuation. Also, dispatch the messengers outside the city. Worst case scenario, we need to be prepared to relocate the bulk of the population.
Yes, Commander.
Miss Siege? Miss Siege?
Oh, sorry. Your voice always makes my mind wander off.
You must be exhausted, just like our soldiers.
Thanks for your concern. I'm hanging in there.
The piece of intel you brought back, that the warriors of Team 6 were slaughtered by extremely terrifying Originium arts, is critically important to us.
If only I could have gone to the surface to check on them sooner.
No, you would have been in danger too. Besides, you've already done enough. If not for your quick thinking, it might not have been just Team 6 that ran into him, but the rest of our troops and your people as well. I mean, one of our people did run into him, but trolled with their illusionary arts.
Who is he? Those Sarkaz soldiers seem to call him a prince.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's a different person, then never mind. 3 months ago, A noble's banquet was held in northern Londinium. Is it updated? I mean, I think it should be. Though, I just let it do automatic updates. There might be like a optional one that's not actually optional, but too late right now. Because sometimes those updates can take a long time and nah. It began with great fanfare. The lights stayed on the entire night, and it wasn't until the servants went to clean the venue on the second day that they discovered that the only thing left was a still, playing record player.
Everyone was dead?
All killed in a single instant, it seems. Some of them still kept their posture from the moment of death, glasses raised in a toast. Among the slain were those with connections with us. Heidi knew them too.
That's right. I lost several old friends that night. The Self-Salvation Corps also lost a significant portion of its network throughout the city.
It's not for no reason that we retreated to the edge of the wall. But it's thanks to Heidi's unfaltering efforts that we've managed to survive. And soon enough, we'll have a chance to face the Sarkats head-on. Before that, though, we still need to escape the gaze of that terrifying individual. Amiya, would you happen to know who he is? If my hunch is correct, the person looming above us is probably a vampire. This'll be tough.
How tough?
To be honest, it's probably easier for me to make a new one from scratch than try to glue the pieces together. Oh no. The drones were wrecked. Yeah, I can't imagine gluing that back together. That's painful.
Don't have the parts.
Huh? No way.
We're in Londinium. Most of the city's industrial resources are controlled by the Sarkats, and we don't exactly have the luxury of scrounging up scraps for something that won't be used on the battlefield.
Your work environment is way too...
impoverished? You can speak your mind. The commander isn't here.
Way too much of a challenge.
Miss Closure.
What's up?
Did you know, when you talk about being challenged, your eyes seem to light up, physically?
Huh? Really? Must because I'm getting excited. Is it scary?
It's fine. To be honest, it wasn't until I met you that I found out, that Sarkats can do more than just fight.
Oh, there are a lot of people who aren't fighters like me. Naturally, I'm a vampire, so of course I was born with some handy talents.
Huh? What is the speed? It'd take a week for me to do what you did in a single night.
Why do you think the pillars of Rhodes Island are so good? Take a good look at my eyes. If the Rhodes Island landship was filled with vampires, working at night would be no problem. And we'd cut down big on the electricity bill.
Are there a lot of vampire engineers?
Of course not. They all...
Hey, why'd you start shuddering all of a sudden?
Blame Londinium. It's been a long time since I last felt the fear of being this close to the den of evil. Look, my hands are totally frozen stiff, and I need these hands.
Could it be that Team 6 ran into...
I sure hope not. If so, for real, I need to give you guys a serious warning. Just in case, if you ever run into another vampire, run. Unless it's a medic vampire, cough cough cough. No, it might already be too late by then. I hope you'll never ever bump into them.
Morgan, you and Angel will go help the Self-Salvation Corps relocate.
I'll be there right away. Ooh, hello? Vina.
What is it, Doctor? Were you looking for me?
I wanted to talk about Dagda. I mean, how are you doing, girl?
I'm fine, but I'm really worried about Dagda. It's not so different from how you're worried about us, though. We both have our own responsibilities to shoulder. Dagda is pretty much in the same situation as me.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to play on my phone speaker either because I'm using my phone for the camera. Which is kind of a shame that I can't play a video while on top of like VTube Studio on my phone, but it's okay. It ain't too bad since last time I couldn't hear anything either. As long as I can see, that's what matters. Visuals are the most important. Every moment she stayed with me, her actions are bound by responsibility. No matter how many times I told her to make her own decisions, she would never be able to choose any other outcome. When we truly have the capacity to make a choice, what truly matters is having the authority to make that so-called choice. Otherwise, it is nothing more than coercion wrapped in a more palatable package. I don't want to have to push her along ever again. She needs to accept herself and then walk down her own path with conviction. Aww. Siege is a good friend. What about your choice? You can continue like this and become a regular soldier. You can also go to them and tell them who you really are. No matter what you decide, Rhodes Island and I will support you. Becoming a run-of-the-mill soldier might be the easy way out. But my family name... No matter what you all decide to call me, I can't deny my name. It's a part of me. Oh, look, it's a more casual outfit. I like the jacket. And the shirt reminds me of a monster. My favorite energy drink. Delicious. I hope I didn't scare you by telling you the truth, Doctor. Dr. Kelsey said she was willing to tell you, but I decided to do it myself. Your family name is Victoria? You're a princess! You don't seem all that surprised. Maybe because I don't remember the past. Maybe because I only care about the present. Maybe because I'm looking ahead to the future. Well, maybe because I don't remember the past. I don't know all this stuff. And you know, I understand the feels about music creating atmosphere and moods, but this reminds me of when I used to sneak playing games at night. Like, I'm supposed to be sleeping, but no, I was bad. I would stay up till like all night, honestly. Can't say, oh yeah, I only stay up till like 2 a.m. Nah, I would pull all-nighters just playing stuff on silent mode, of course, and then under the covers so the light don't seep through. I'm like, ah yes, I will enjoy the darkness. And the very or barely visible light from my screen and continue on playing because I cannot stop and I have problems. You don't remember the past? Even though you've suffered so much due to that, I can't help but wonder, is your life a little bit easier because you can't remember? When I'm around you, I can always relax so easily. Though to an extent also after playing with no volume, then when I finally turn the volume, it's like, whoa, this is a big difference. Like most of my Pokemon games, I played on silent mode because I was sneaking it. And then when I finally turn on the game volume, I'm like, what is this? What is this experience? Oh my goodness, this cutscene, the feels. Especially from Pokemon X. It might be because, even when you found out the truth, the only person reflected in your eyes was the operator known as Siege, instead of Victoria. Coming back to Londinium has brought back many memories, but at the same time, so much has changed. The decision I make no longer solely affect my team. I'm too scared to plug in and unplug right now just because the last time that happened, I remember you guys couldn't hear anything either. And then it was like, no, everything broke. And then I had to restart. And I feel like that's probably gonna happen again. Doctor, I don't actually want choice to be an excuse that holds me back. I'm here today as a result of my choices. My choices determine how I move forward. I'm here today because, as a result of my choices, someone Someone once said I'd find my own path. Fina, I want to share those words with you too. You always have the right to choose. Hello, Amiya. Miss Heidi. Amiya, I'm currently tending to the wounded. You practice medicine? Only some basic nursing techniques. This job inevitably brings me into emergency situations. To give me and my friends a better shot at survival, I had to at least learn to use a first aid kit. You're really amazing. All we're doing is protecting our home, but Kelsey and you, Amiya, you all carry so much more responsibility on your shoulders. We've lost a lot of people in this operation. I feel the pain of the Self-Salvation Corps soldiers. They've never had to deal with such horrific enemies before. The Sanguinarch. Did he come here because of us? Amiya, what you need to hear isn't me saying no, it's not your fault. Yes. Clovesia said that she was afraid Rhodes Island would get the Salvation Corps involved in a war they weren't a part of. If working with us puts them at greater risk. During last night's operation, what would have happened if Rhodes Island had not been there? Without W colluding, had she not stopped the mercenary leader, and without Rhodes Island operators keeping Manfred at bay, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. The calculus of exchanging one set of lives for another simply does not exist for Rhodes Island. The thing is though, if I did restart my computer and didn't fix the thing, I would feel so upset. And I don't want to ruin my mood. Because at that point, it's not going to be as fun. Like right now, I think I'm still in good spirits. Like if I were a Sims character, my sanity gauge would still be in the green. And then after, if I restarted things and it didn't work, then I'd go straight down to orange, just bypassing yellow. And then if I had to update and it still didn't work, then it would go straight down to red. But even if Kelsey were here, I'm sure she would say every opportunity comes with its risks. I understand. That's why we have to be better prepared. Miss Heidi, I need more information from within the city, not counting the Sanguinarch. How many kings do the Sarkas have inside Londinium? Excuse me. I'd like a bag of bread. I don't need your money, lass. Take all of these with you. Huh? Hurry along and don't come out here again. What do you mean? I know who you are, actually. We can all tell. Even if you took off your equipment and changed your clothes, both your actions and even the look in your eyes won't fool anyone. Thank you. I might as well pack up too. Don't think there's business to be had today. Ooh, free bread. We're doing another sweep of the street. Take anyone whose name is on the list. What's going on? I'm just a restaurateur. Didn't you come by to have fried fin meat before? You're the one we're after. Your cover runs pretty deep, selling fried meat to us by day, peddling information to the rebels by night. Take them away, and check those buildings next door. They're all rebels. Why are the Sarkas suddenly going around grabbing people? Hurry. Take a turn at the alley just ahead and find the others. Ugh. Another one down. You lot, search that alley over there. Don't let a single one of them escape this borough. Report. We ran into a Sarkas as soon as we came out. No, they weren't guarding the city exits. They suddenly appeared in the middle of the streets. Commander, do you think our comms have been compromised? Please be careful.
The soldiers dispatched out of the city have all perished. I can't hide for much longer either.
It's because there's an imposter among us, unfortunately.
Bloody hell! Why can't I shake them off? The Sarkas seem to have suddenly figured out all of our passages and networks in just a single night. What exactly happened last night?
The weird part though is that it did work earlier today. That's what bothers me because as soon as I got home, I made my stream schedule, then I farmed a bit of embers inside of Fate Grand Order because embers are important in my life right now. I could hear everything perfectly. It's just that when I turned off my computer, in between like that 1 hour, something happened. And that's like the most annoying part. It literally worked at 5 p.m. and at 7 p.m. it broke.
What exactly happened last night? Haha, wouldn't you like to know? Huh? What the hell are you? My blade snapped clean in half. The way you're dressed, are you a Rhodes Island operator? Thank you. You guys saved us again. Hurry back. Wait. Be sure to tell me and the doctor that the underground isn't safe anymore. The traps you ran into yesterday aren't the only ones we've discovered.
But yeah, even if you did try to remind me about checking the sounds, it's still gonna break, unfortunately. It just happens. I guess instead of turning my computer on, like 5 minutes before, I gotta start going earlier, which is making me a little bit sad because I was just chilling. I was eating a little bit of rice and fish. I love little irikos. I thought I could just have a nice little snack, but no! No snack for Misaki. Maybe someday I can enjoy a snack instead of suffering. Because usually I eat after the stream. But I decided today, you know what? I feel like eating something delicious. And that's what happened. Ah well, it was worth it. I enjoyed my snack. Had a bunch of little fishies and rice. Yummy. Now, if only things wouldn't break. Then I can do that more often. Then I can eat. No, it's okay. I've learned. You know, Texas, I'm just gonna move you right now. You're suffering. Sorry, girl. But yeah, today I especially want to eat something because yesterday I didn't eat dinner. Since there was nothing. I mean, I could have made instant noodles, but at that point I was kind of feeling lazy because I'm like, I don't really want to cook anything at 11 p.m. Oh no, it's gonna hurt. He's floating around menacingly and we can't even see them. Oh, that is so annoying. Oof. But yeah, last night there was no freshly cooked dinner. I asked my dad, like, what did you eat then? He said ice cream. With a serious face, he told me, go eat ice cream. I'm like, oh, okay. But I did not eat the ice cream because at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to bed, play some Honkai Star Rail, and then sleep. Just kidding. I slept at like 1 a.m. because I had problems.
Have you finished cleaning up the streets? Yes, General. Everyone on the list has already been dealt with. Some tried to flee to the other boroughs or leave the city just as you said, and we stopped them as well. Only a few slipped through our net. The soldiers sent to chase after them seemingly ran to the same Sarkas from Rhodes Island as yesterday. Let them squirm their way underground. That'll make it easier for us to flush them all out at once.
Multiple of our contact points above ground were attacked all at once? What of our messengers? Have they got taken as well? Doctor, I want to hear your view on this. Rhodes Island wasn't told where these points were, so it's not us. There's an imposter among you. The only ones with access to that information are our own troops. We were tailed on the way back yesterday. It seems the seeds of crisis were sown last night. But I don't want to doubt our own soldiers. There's no way they betray their brothers and sisters. The commander's responsible for the team. I mean, we can't look over any hypothetical. How many soldiers were rescued? 12 people came back with Heidi. Among them, 9 only ever provided us information on occasion. The other 3 helped us transport supplies, so it is possible that they know the locations of some contact points. How many more are in Sarka's hands? A lot more. Doctor, you know better than anyone how difficult last night's operation was. As much as I'd like to rescue everyone, I'm forced to admit that we're not yet strong enough. Heidi's done good work. Being able to save all these people already went above and beyond my expectations. The Starcast couldn't know who would be rescued, unless everyone defected. You don't place a pawn that won't be used. I mean, you don't place a pawn that won't be used. There's an imposter here. How's the story without sounds on? For me, it's fine. Because like I said, I used to play games like that a lot. Reminds me of my childhood, sneaking games at night. And I still enjoy them because I literally play them all night. Which is bad. Because I'm like, oh, I feel like sleeping, but oh no, there's school. That's right. The Sarkaz commander isn't a fool. He would have found a way to make sure his plan succeeded. So, if there really were traitors among the soldiers we saved, in all likelihood, they would have been the easiest for us to rescue. That narrows it down considerably. The most obvious suspects are clear. I mean, that narrows it down considerably. Still, I don't want to fling these accusations around about soldiers willing to bleed and die for their homeland. We need proof. How do you suppose we get that, Doctor? Please call Face and Rock Rock. Let's go visit the wounded together. Time to interrogate everyone. Why aren't you moving? The commander just sent news that Bill's about to wake up. Rock Rock, I want to tell her that I'm stepping down as captain of the operation team. Take a look at these. Packages? What's inside them? Johnny and Gabby's belongings. I picked out the stuff to send back to their families. What remains are their tools, weapons, and equipment. If you really can't get them out of your head, then pick out something useful and polish it up a bit. That way, they'll at least still be with us on the battlefield. Sounds like the vice captain rejected my resignation. Let's go see Bill then. You're awake? Yeah. Something came up, so Miss Heidi had to leave. She was originally the one in charge of coordinating the treatment of the wounded here. Wait, you're from Mr. Face's team, right, Bill? I mean, Bill, right? Mr. Bill, did I go call Face and Rock Rock over? No. That's alright. Miss Amia, I decided to get up to talk to you. Huh? Well, I've always been curious about you. Amia of Rhodes Island. Why do they trust you so much? You're just a courteous in her teens. Are you talking about our operators? We've been through so much together. You're correct that they trust me, but the trust is mutual. As far as I can tell, it's no different for everyone in the Self-Salvation Corps either. You also trust Face, Rock Rock, and Kovicia, right? Haha. Mutual trust, huh? That might be a part of it, after all. You've been through your share of trials and tribulations. But your authority does not come from your bloodline, nor have you taken your position by force.
You are far too young to have earned that amount of trust you enjoy.
Mr. Bill? Come on, Amiya, realize Mr. Bill is sus.
Deep down, you've thought about these things too, haven't you? But you don't dare show it. Your fears, your worries, your anxiety, everything is suppressed by the responsibilities he forced onto you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Mr. Thomas we saw was already an imposter. Because I doubt that Mr. whoever that imposter was actually, like, the real Mr. Thomas. He's taking on everyone's identity. Are you worried about me? Did you overhear my conversation with Miss Heidi?
Maybe. I heard everything.
I appreciate the concern, but my responsibilities were not forced on me. Our operators placed their faith in me, and I am not going to let them down.
Of course, of course. Since the very beginning, they've always been devoted to you. But Amiya, when they look at you, how do you know that they're not looking right past you, searching for another soul that has endured the twists and turns of fate? Everything you believe, do you truly believe it, or are you dreaming a dream given to you by somebody else, one that you can't wake up from no matter how much you struggle?
Mr. Bill, no, that's not who you are. Who exactly are you? Good job, Amiya.
Allow me to return the question. Amiya, who are you?
Was Mr. Thomas already dead by the time we saw him again with Manfred? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Heck, the Mr. Thomas we met up with was probably not even Mr. Thomas. It was the imposter. Amiya, do you like the stories I tell? You'll still be able to sleep well, won't you? I don't want you to have nightmares. You won't? Oh, what a sweet child you are. That's right. While we may look different in many ways, we are both children given life and nurtured by this great land. Some of the stories you've heard are legends that others find terrifying, but they are indeed the history of the Sarkaz. You shouldn't be here.
I see the energy gathering inside your palm. Have you not figured out who I am? Why aren't you attacking?
I cannot touch your emotions, Mr. Bill. But I also cannot feel any malice.
Oh?
What kind of mood am I having right now during this scene? Excitement, because Amiya found out he's sus. That's what I wanted. And Amiya has lived up to my expectations. Good job, Amiya. You could have continued pretending to be asleep. You said all those things to me.
Ah, didn't I already tell you? We are very curious about you. If not for you, we'd have no desire to come here either. Teresa's has no sway over us.
No matter what you're after, this is far too cruel.
Cruel? Do you mean this face you're borrowing?
Yes, which is why I need you to leave. Black lines surge from her palm once more, weaving a net around the man in the Self-Salvation Corps' uniform. One strand condensed into lightless blade, pressed against his throat.
What a remarkably gentle threat. Amiya, a lot of people have told you this before, yes? You really are just like her.
Not another word out of you, please.
Unfortunately, you're still too immature. Always be aware of your surroundings before you make a move.
Oh no! Amiya's not sus. She's not the imposter. Do not... Oh no, they're calling an emergency meeting after this, aren't they?
Miss Amiya? You're trying to kill Bill?
No, Doctor, I take it that you didn't ask me to bring everyone here just to see the scene? I wanted to see who'd make the first move. You're already looking at the traitor. I wanted to see who'd make the first move. I assume you're not referring to Mia. Then Bill?
Rock, help me! I'd rather die myself than betray you.
Stay away from him. No. Nobody knows the full extent of his originium arts. His words are, or rather his very existence is, dangerous.
Miss Mia, can I trust you? Last night, we fought side by side. I thought Rhodes Island truly had our backs, just as you said. But your expression scares me. It's as if I've seen it somewhere before. That's right. You're already mourning the pain and suffering you're about to cause. If so, then why? Why go through with that? The Sarkis took my father from me right before my eyes. Are you going to take away my family too?
I'm sorry, Miss Rock, but it's too late. Your family member's already gone.
But Bill's right in front of us.
Come on, Faced. Say something. He said something sus to you last night. Remember, he did not remember the gift. This must be difficult for you to accept.
I don't understand.
Look, Mia. It's not that we're not willing to believe you, but we don't have your arts. We can't see what you see.
Commander, I can see it. Captain? He might not actually be the same Bill we know.
But those wounds on his body, he got all those from saving me yesterday. But Bill, his weight was different and he didn't remember the thing. And this imposter, yeah, he could be a general or he could be a king too, you know, like that other king in the desert.
You said it yourself, Rock. The Sarkas are masters of disguise, but we can't let ourselves be fooled.
But how?
Look, I brought along the metal crab I was going to give to Bill. See for yourself. Ugh. When did this thing crawl onto me? He didn't even spare it a glance. The only thing in his eyes is Miss Mia. He's so proud of having deceived us that he's long forgotten about the bond between us. All because of this insignificant little machine. Don't you think you're being a bit too hasty-faced? Aren't we sworn blood brothers? I've made a lot of hasty decisions in the last few days. Bill, my good man, if he were still around, he'd be ruthlessly making fun of me. I miss him. I miss him so much.
I like that. It's like, I know you're not Bill because you're not roasting me.
Whoever you are, don't make me pry that mask off your face with my wrench. Rock, are you going to break my heart just like him?
I'll never turn my back on my family. But you're acting less and less like him.
You would never talk like that.
He would never try to manipulate us.
So you really don't think I'm the real Bill? Faced. Are you really okay with that? I'll have you know if so, then that means your friend died in vain. Anyone else may have the right to say that, but you sure as hell don't. Haha, you're pretty smart. But unfortunately for you, it's too late.
Man, that imposter's just trying to gain their trust. He's playing Among Us, but nah, he's failing.
Artillerymen, are you ready? Yes, General. The cannon is aimed at the target. Remember, we're leveling every single building except the train station and the tracks. Yes, sir. Increase the output to maximum. Maximum? That might blow right through these structural levels. Did you hear what the Confessorius messenger said? In their eyes, this whole tract of land, including the factories above, is worth nothing to us. Then what about our people underneath? Holder will regard the safe areas under the city walls. But what about... who do you think is heading underground to deal with the rebels? The Sanguinarch? As long as you get it. If these toys can take him out, I'd be extremely surprised. As for the other one, I've been curious for a while now if it came to an all-out battle with the prince, who would come out on top?
Thank goodness you're all here. Huh? Why does it feel like I walked into a fight about to break out? Anyway, Doctor, I set up some drones like you requested. They're really about to resume. They're pointing those cannons right at us. Notify Heidi and Harmo. We're evacuating immediately. Hold on, I'm getting a strong originium reading. They're aiming at our current location. We've only got 10 seconds. 9. Here's the countdown. Run now. Goodbye, base.
Why are you holding on to me? You said it yourself. We're sworn blood brothers. I don't want to pass judgment too hastily.
Captain, I don't think I can carry the two of you.
I'll admit that you people are very interesting. Goodbye, Captain. Goodbye, Rock Rock. Bill wanted you to live on. Those were his last words.
Well, that's a nice thing to say before dipping out. You know, you guys are pretty interesting. By the way, Bill loves you guys. Bye. And oh no, it's a red stage. It's gonna be difficult. Oh, I just realized there was a level 90. Oopsies, my bad. I mean, any Texas is really good, but that level 91. Oh well. I mean, oh yes, I found her again. Boop. What's the situation?
Areas D and E have been severely damaged, and the structures in the other areas have sustained various degrees of damage as well. 19 people have light injuries, with nobody seriously injured as of yet. Fortunately, we followed the instructions given by you and the doctor, and managed to move most of them to the safe area ahead of time.
Nowhere safe right now. No, nowhere safe right now. Everywhere around you is dangerous. Our entire stronghold has been completely exposed to the Sarkas. They're not going to stop until they blasted this place into smithereens to make sure we have nowhere to hide. How much time do we have? 30 minutes. Maybe even less than that. The nearby plates are pretty old, and if we take the power of the artillery we've seen before, and multiply that by the theoretical maximum output value, we won't even have 30 minutes before the structure above us collapses right onto our heads. Let Harmo know and we'll start the train right away. Train? You all should have seen it before. A few kilometers above us is a train station. I thought all the stations were occupied by the Sarkas. Then all we have to do is take that one back. Now that the Sarkas have cut off all of our pathways to the other boroughs, this is the last chance we have to evacuate Sudayan. That's an oof how most of them were born infected because of the land, all the pollution. That kind of reminds me of how some people who are born into like big cities end up having to move to the countryside for like the fresher air kind of thing due to health reasons. Heidi, once we leave Sudayan, do you have a way to keep us out of sight? Yes, I've been preparing for this. Once we arrive at the next station, we'll have friends who will disguise us until we successfully enter Central Londinium. Good. The biggest question mark will be whether or not we can safely board the train. Lovicia, how far are we from the city walls? Very close, if we take the underground passages. I'd like to try climbing them from beneath. Amiya, are you planning to? We'll buy time for the self-salvation course to retreat. Okay, we're gonna try our best. And no matter what she said, I mean, no matter, like, the pollution or not. Just what she said was bad. Being jealous of someone who's infected, like, you freaking brat. Like, regardless of how they got infected, that is, like, you don't say that to someone. Man, I'm so jealous of how you're having, like, a horrible sickness that's killing you. Wow, I'm so jealous. Like, really, girl? Really? Freaking Mandragora.
Block all the exits from the targeted plate and keep an eye on the train station. I don't want them crawling to the next gutter over. Set up the motion tracking ground targeting system, in case they still have some fight left in them and plan to escape through the surface via vehicle. We'll greet them with even more intense fire. Strengthen the defenses of all the points inside the city walls. Also, change the control passwords for all the defense artillery so no one but me can deactivate it. Good. You're taking adequate precautions. General, you're here? In a matter of moments, these pesky insects have nowhere to hide. The Londinium rebels will never again dare to poke their heads out. More importantly, nobody will be able to go in and out of the dark passages we cannot see. The only thing the Dukes outside will hear will be our hand-picked messages. No one will interfere with our project's progress again. Manfred, am I not welcome to share this moment of triumph with you? Please do not mock me so, Your Highness. Oh, you've gotten better than before. We hardly spoke 5 sentences, and you've already realized we are not Teresa's. Your Highness, whether or not His Majesty is willing to turn a blind eye to you, you should draw the attention of the confessari. Should you draw the attention of the confessari, they will surely petition His Majesty to restrict your movements.
Aha, so he is royalty too. Mr. Imposter is royal after all.
Very well, as you said, the military commission cannot allow 2 men to call the shots.
Oh, it's this one. You know, if that's their regular form, they're kinda cute. In that case, I'll shift to an appearance I'm more comfortable with.
How unusual that you're willing to meet me using the same appearance you take at the royal court.
We vowed not to use the faces of the dead, so as to not scare you and your men.
You came back sooner than expected. Even though you helped us root out the rebels' den, they may still have an escape route I haven't found. If you could uphold your end of the deal and follow them until the very last rebel has fallen into our hands...
Do you really think that Doctor can keep us hidden for so long? More importantly, Manfred, you must not forget that we do not belong to you.
I was out of line. Please forgive me.
Don't talk to us the same way you do to old Pink Eyes. We've told you before, we won't fall for that drivel.
As you wish, Your Highness. Since you decided to come back ahead of time, did you find what you were looking for underground?
That King of Sarkaz is stronger than we thought, but is far from mature. She knows little of what she's about to face. If we want to learn more about her, then we'll have to wait until she meets Her Majesty. Wait, what? Mr. Bill might have been a clone. Wait, really? I thought he was just taking the appearance of Mr. Bill, not cloning.
You'd better not let the confessary hear those words.
And why not?
They'll think the Damatsi cluster of the royal court had a change of heart.
And why would you think that matters to us? Manfred, we've already done what we promised you. You and the vampire can clean up the rest of the mess yourselves. Alright. Next time we speak, pick an identity for us that is still alive. Vina, me and the doctor have already left.
Good. The first wave of Self-Salvation Corps forces are rushing towards the station above us.
Oh. They can clone and take over appearances. I mean, they can take over the clone. I mean, that's one way to do it. I thought they were actually just transforming their bodies, not just taking over minds, basically. The first wave of Self-Salvation Corps forces are rushing towards the station above us. Hurry, pick up the pace. Once they capture the station, injured troops and non-combatant civilians will be the first to board the train. Mr. Balin, can I trouble you and the medics to tend to the injured with restricted mobility? Everyone, please pay attention to the signal lights on both sides of the passage, and don't get lost. Most of the command structure will go with the injured and the civilians, except... Have all our people entered the retreat channel?
The integrity of the superstructure is continuing to erode. Commander, we have to get out of here quick.
As long as everyone's inside, I'll be right behind you. Well, Citrep.
Commander, the underground areas won't hold on for much longer. Are enemies really still coming down?
Report. Bina, should we go with Balin's group?
We're staying.
Staying? You're going to stay here with Commander Clovicia? And the ability, well, making a clone and then having to control it, it seems like a lot of work. I was kind of hoping that that one was just, you know, a shapeshifter. That's more fun. So I'm a little, not gonna lie, disappointed that he's not a shapeshifter. Like, come on, shapeshifter would have been super epic.
I have a feeling maybe she's getting it too. The strongest enemy might not be above us right now. The cannons. Warn. The defensive cannons are activating again. This time, they're targeting the plate closest to the city walls. From what I can tell, they're not aiming at us. But there's no guarantees that the surrounding areas are safe. Run, hurry!
Where's my daughter? Has anyone seen my daughter?
Look out! Get inside the sturdiest building as quickly as you can. No, get away from the city walls now.
Okay.
So this is Londinium's defensive artillery. Based on the current situation, it won't be long until the cannon fire penetrates the plate and destroys these base structures. Those damn Sarkaz! Is this the moment they've been waiting for? Are they trying to destroy the city? No. They've only activated a small number of cannons, and their targets are quite clear. They're trying to eradicate us and our friends. Horn, what should we do? Among the soldiers who came back with us yesterday, how many of them were originally part of the city's defense forces garrisoned here? Call them over. Bring the best equipment we've got. Tell them, it's time to take back these walls from the Sarkaz. First, we're almost there.
Careful. Don't trip and fall. Are you hanging in there?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I've also made the big mistake of trusting people I shouldn't. After that, for an entire month, it took everything I had to force myself to keep going. As soon as I stopped, I'd feel like I couldn't look me in the eye.
Well, the battle's not over yet. People don't have enough time to catch their breaths. It'd be too much of a luxury for me to mourn or wallow in self-doubt.
Mr. Face, do you need help? I can calm you down.
How? Is that some sort of Originium arts?
Something like that.
So, do you also help your men with psychological treatment under normal circumstances?
If the operator thinks it's necessary.
Ugh.
Relax, Amiya's looking out for you. Amiya won't see that our people become Cold War machines. Yeah, Amiya's not gonna let our people become Cold War machines because she's awesome like that. Believe in Amiya. Mr. Faced, did I come off the wrong way?
No, that's not it. I was just thinking you have some truly amazing arts. Even in a big place like Lindinium, I've hardly seen anything like them before. Miss Amiya, I appreciate your kindness, but I don't think I'm ready to drive that scene out of my head so quickly.
Then we'll just have to get right back to work.
Let's do it.
The drones are showing that the defense structure layer above us is very thick. Can it be blown up? Not likely. If Londinium's defenses could get blown up so easily, well, let's just say we would have stormed the shard yesterday. You'll find a way. I believe in you, Closure. I appreciate that, Doctor. You sure know how to twist your employees' arms. I've finished scanning the lift, and as long as you guys can open up enough of a gap for me to push the drone through, I should be able to hack into the lift and take control of it. Of course, you'll have to find a bigger gap to get yourselves up first. Doctor, don't you think you should send us a signal and call Misery over? He has work to do. Fine, I guess we'll have to do it ourselves. Maybe the locals over here can give us some inspiration.
If you can locate the support structure and apply an extremely strong external force, you might be able to open a little seam.
Someone's rapidly approaching our location. Did the Sarkas expect us to find a way to climb up the wall? Who cares about that? I'll have the drone pack some originium explosives. Face, calculate the position. I'll think of some way to amplify the explosive effect. He's here. Holderer.
We meet again, leader of Rhodes Island.
What happened to W?
Are you sure you should be worried about her right now? I heard you folks were short on time.
I'm willing to set aside whatever happened between you two, as well as what happened at Trennelbog with Scout. But Mr. Mercenary, if you intend on standing in our way, I'll cut you down without mercy.
For any mercenary, dying at the hands of Her Majesty's heir would be a great honor.
You'd better hurry up, Amiya. The bomb I planted just started ticking down. 1 minute. That's all the time we've got. Oh, that's kind of tough. A minute to fight. Okay. I'll stop, Holderer.
No, Miss Amiya. Let me handle this mercenary.
Mr. Faced?
I found the support column. Plus, I have a plan. Though I don't know how solid it is, if it works out, you and the doctor need to seize the opportunity to get up the wall. I know you, young warrior. I also know that look in your eyes. The weight of everything you've lost has finally begun to set in, and you've lost your ability to trust in the soundness of your own decisions. Lost? Sorry, but even if I had the time, I'm not interested in a heart-to-heart with a butcher. Over here. Another smoke bomb? Even if I'm short a usable arm, your little tricks won't work on me. Come on, Sarkas, give me your worst. Let me taste your sword, your machete, whatever weapon you've got on you. Trying to draw me away. Not a very sensible strategy. Empty bravado with no self-awareness isn't going to buy you any miracles. Even if all your men were here, you wouldn't stand a chance against me. Ugh. Pretty ugly run there, without help. You're going to bleed out soon enough. After all, you're just a craftsman. You and your men wave around wrenches and hammers, and hope that is enough to hold back the Sarkas blades tempered by centuries of war. Beg the King of Sarkas for help. Have her deal with me. The King of Sarkas? What are you talking about? Sarkas, you're the one who brought war to Londinium. This is a war between us.
30 seconds. Amiya, focus your energy. Hold on tight, Doctor. Mr. Face, I need your location.
Mercenary, are you seeing this? Another flashy toy. Stop resisting. You can't fool me. Sure, you're right. Please, one last push. A metal crab? Mechanical toy? What's your play here? Stop screwing around. No. That's the most important thing you've taken from me. I've never fought alone. Look, old Bill helped me out again. It's all thanks to your paranoia, mercenary. My paranoia? You're using my... Huh. So you finally get it now? Every time you swung your blade at me, you were carving your path to defeat. Amiya, hold her cut through the structural layer. Hurry, take aim. The bomb's about to blow. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Herg. It's been split open. That's a big enough gap. All right. You're up, drone. The lift is ours now. Doctor, let's head up. Faced, are you hanging in there? Grab onto the zip line and we'll head up after them. You're not going anywhere. Closure. Have any more explosives? Yeah, catch. You. Thanks to the hand mercenary.
You could live, Mr. Faced. I liked you. And if he doesn't, then that's a big oof. So does that guy clone himself, though? Because I wasn't getting the impression of cloning. I mean, he did refer to himself as we a lot, but I didn't see that as a clone thing. Or if anything, oops. Gonna put that down real quick. How I describe it. Like a hive mind of sorts, not really clone. And I should put someone down that could actually do a thing that's not gonna cause my death and destruction. Okay, there, that's good. Phew. I'm sorry, Mudrock. You're gonna suffer a bit. Like, I was thinking maybe the slime Sarkaz might have had like a similar ability to Amiya when it comes to his own people. That's why you can say we. But that he just transforms into them. Like, oh, I got to see what you are. I was thinking of him being more like a Ditto with his ability. Dittos, when they see something, they can transform into it. And that guy said he could transform into living or dead people just based on how they look. Ah, yes. Hello, Ditto. Though it seems his transformation isn't perfect since Faced commented on quote-unquote Bill's weight. Like, oh, did your weight change, Bill? Like, oh no, my weight did not change. I just forgot to adjust it. Whoopsies. Right now, I'm just gonna see him as a Ditto, basically. A Ditto with probably a similar ability to Mia when it comes to his people. Ah, yes, time to transform. Ooh, this will be a thing. You know, I'll just put her here. This might lead to my destruction, but it's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but no, it's okay. Temporarily here. Alrighty, I'll put her here. Just barely out of harm's way in this case. And you know, I'll just put Monster here. Because why not? And then I'll have Susie just destroy everyone. Oh, that range. Oopsies. I gotta make sure I don't put someone in an area where they get wrecked. So, Susie, you can stay here. He should be safe enough there. Or not. Oops. Oh, my bad. No, I'm gonna keep her safe. Oh gosh, no fear. Does that mean that Mr. Bill's alive and well? Nah, he dead. They said Bill's final words. You don't gotta copy a live person's appearance. I'm sorry, Mr. Bill. Rest in peace, my dude. Same for Mr. Thomas. He's probably dead too. So that one Sarkaz does want to have the appearance of someone who's alive this time. As he said, next time you want me to transform into someone, give me a live person. Understandable. Oh, I feel so much fear for her. Yes. Oh no, do not target Mudrock, please. Oh, I feel so bad. The explosion's gonna happen soon. No! No fear, no fear. Sorry, Kelsey, you might go poof too. Oh! Uh-oh. Oh, yep, that was bad. But there's only a few left. There. I need to put more defenders out there later.
Do we need to keep increasing our reload rate? Are you seriously trying to eradicate every mobile plate in the city? Got a problem with the general's orders. I'm just concerned that that bombardment on this scale will have an effect on the walls. Nothing like this has ever happened before. If Londinium wants to swap out plates inside the city, we'd simultaneously have to shift around the walls. Didn't ask. Are we going to obey? I mean, are you going to obey or are you going to die? Those are your only two options. What's the matter? I think he still has a third option. Can you still stand, Captain? I'll be alright. Who are you? An old battle buddy. Over here. Someone snuck in. The shield. Where the hell did Victorian soldiers come from? It feels pretty nice to use a weapon I'm familiar with. Captain, can this model of cannon take out the control system of the city defense artillery? No, it's not possible. I was expecting as much. Horn, we've mobbed up the Sarkaz outside. Make sure to thank Mr. Misery again on my behalf. Captain, is there any other way to deactivate the artillery? No need for the long face. You've been praying that we'd come. After all, you didn't even cover up your old ID from the city defense forces. This is just a blunder. The Sarkaz won't kill me over something like this yet. But if you help us, you'll be put to death. And my family too. They'll get dragged in. The Sarkaz can kill them off at any time. I understand. Carl, put your sights on this traitor. Lieutenant, where am I supposed to aim?
I mean, clearly he can't see. His one eye that's not covered with hair is covered in a bandage, and his other eye that's, I'm assuming, not covered by a bandage is covered by his hair. So where is he supposed to aim, huh?
Here, at my heart. If I die, perhaps only then, the Sarkaz will forget about me and stop haunting my family. If you've made up your mind, we'll work with you. Alright, thank you, Lieutenant. If you want to turn off the cannons, there are only two ways. One is to have the Sarkaz General stop them himself. The other is to completely destroy the control room. For the first method to work, we'll have to defeat Manfred. That's right. As for the second option, we don't have enough firepower, and besides, are you prepared to tear down a cornerstone of Londinium's walls with your own hands? I know it's what we should do. What about you, Captain? Are you prepared? I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Lieutenant, you missed. Bloody hell. I suppose my hand slipped. Help him down the lift. Whether he lives or dies should be in his own hands. Too much has happened on these walls today. We don't need to add another traitor. What about us? Should we head up as well? Let's go. We're going to pay Manfred another visit.
Oh, Manfred, are you ready to get bonked? Whoa, this lift is going up way too fast.
Let's not talk right now, or I might vomit all over the doctor. After all, we've been dragged several hundred meters via zipline.
Don't do that again. You'll get used to it. Don't do that again. Please don't puke on me. Everyone, catch your bearings. Enemies are approaching.
We've got more intruders here. Report to the general immediately.
Amiya, intercept the attack. We'll catch up to the runner. And yeah, those are big cannons. Closure, we need to find some way of shutting down those cannons. If that means we have to take on Manfred, we'd better make it quick. The longer we take, the more the remaining self-salvation cores in the ground will be at risk. Like, I'm not sure what to compare their size to. I've seen old-fashioned cannons in person before. I mean, they're pretty big, but they're not big as that. And I've seen tanks before. And the tanks that I've seen in person weren't as big as that. To think you get blasted like this by a boy who's barely seen a fight. What an embarrassment you are.
Even a tiny metal crab, when backed into a corner, will pinch your hand.
I mean, metal crabs are a good weapon to use. Was it Beanstalk the one who uses them? Or someone else in Rose Island uses metal crabs.
You'd better hope Manfred buys your story. You shouldn't be here, it's too risky. So you'd rather lean against rubble, gasping for breath, than let me lend you a hand? If you wanted to hold me up, the other side would be better. Thanks to her, I can't move this arm anymore. You ran into her. What do you think?
I mean, this is a mysterious person. I'm slightly guessing who they are based on the hair color. But at the same time, I can't make entirely accurate guess.
Well, she noticed Her Highness. Then she didn't change at all. You're positive? We all saw what she was like back then. Even when she was chasing down those assassins, her body riddled with wounds, could she have imagined that Her Majesty wasn't dead? She's not that volatile, impulsive mercenary she used to be. So she's getting even crazier? Who can say? The truth is in front of us. She snuck into Londinium by herself and didn't toss a single bomb for 2 weeks. Not even Manfred noticed her. The way she was before, she would have rushed straight to the West Howleg and buried 100 landmines under Teresa's throne before getting herself killed by Confessari. I can reasonably assume she's formed some wiser plans with those folks from Babel, or rather, Rhodes Island. You almost trade your life away just to make sure of that. Aren't you playing it a bit too fast and loose? Manfred's underlings always have eyes on me. This was the only safe way we could meet. Too bad for Schwab. He made his peace the moment he sided with W. Or should I say, we've all made our peace. I sure hope so. Who's there? I smell Confessarius.
What does the Confessarius smell like? I'm kind of scared to know. I smell a Confessarius.
I told Manfred you can't be trusted. Holderer, did you really think you could hide your clever little gestures from our eyes?
Though for W's former teammate, like, what's her name? Inez or something like that? I'm so bad with names unless I see it over and over or if it stands out. But I was under the impression that teammate was dead. I thought she went poof.
Holderer, did you really think you could hide your clever little gestures from our eyes? This is all a misunderstanding. Oh, unfortunately for you, you won't have another chance to twist words around in front of the leader and the regent. You don't need to pretend to bow your head anymore. Pick up your sword and revel in your last battle, mercenary. If that is an order, then you are powerless. You can't hope to protect your companions. Not a single shadow here can escape my eyes.
Holderer.
Run.
No, you're not giving the orders here. It costs a lot to come this far.
Even more reason we can't both die here. Worry not, I'll execute both of you here together. You may take a moment to decide who goes first. You went down without a struggle. It's you.
He got too cocky. Man, she looks so cool. I want to summon Ascalon. No one can claim to master all shadows. Infinite possibilities lie where the eyes cannot perceive.
Hurry.
Get out of here. If you want to live, return to the sunlight.
What about you?
I still have other things to do. I'll have you know, Confessari underlings aren't the only ones here. What's that sound?
Commander, the middle structure behind us just fell.
That's not all. He's here. You feel it too? Vina, I didn't hear anything except the sound of shelling. The sound of his heartbeat disappeared. What?
Run.
We've lost contact with the 12th. They've all been sacrificed. Yes. Their voices completely vanished. These pitch-black pipes should amplify any and all sounds. Breathing or footsteps, the clanking of a metal crab crawling through the pipe, or the rumble of machinery. These pipes will record the vibrations of any signs of life. And in an instant, all of those voices were devoured. You mean to say this darkness behind us is all the life it has devoured? Just like what happened at the banquet 3 months ago. Engineering team, close in the safety lock. Close in the first safety lock.
Yes, Commander.
Miss Siege, you've got sharp senses. Are you familiar with Londinium's underground structure? I remember Faye saying, you're from around these parts?
I've only been here once, but I've heard a lot of stories about these pipes.
100 years ago, a terrible fire ripped through the heart of Londinium. Only the royal family and a few nobles managed to escape the flames. After that, a legend began to circulate that the magic circle was hidden beneath the palace that could allow the royal family to escape any disaster. When I first heard the story, I couldn't help but wonder, would our royal family also use these very same pipes for their escape? The story I heard was very similar to your version. The workers who built Londinium, the posh aristocrats and nobles, and the royal family itself, are all forced to take the same route during times of crisis. That already is a story that writes itself.
Commander, the safety lock is starting to give. This door cannot hold him back. Are you serious? The door's thickness can withstand 7 or 8 salvos from an armored vehicle. Retreat, fall back.
With a sharp ear-splitting noise, a fissure appears in the middle of the metal door. Under the tearing and folding of the tremendous force behind the door, the thick metal sheet seems thinner than paper. The fissure continues to grow, the dark void behind it like a monstrous abyssal maw. Close the second safety lock.
Understood. Arg!
The door slams shut with a heavy thud, but the person sealing the door suddenly slips. Before he has a chance to scream, something invisible drags him into the shadows behind the door. A smudge of blood seeps through the door's crack, but not even the pool of blood is allowed to escape. In an instant, the shadow lurches through the door and instantly devours half of the passageway. Another massive roar rings out, though it's unclear whether it came from overhead or behind. The pipe shudders and the shadow's edge blurs like a predator's mouthparts, extending the lash onto its prey's ankle. I don't want to fight this. This seems like a tough boss.
I've also heard of another story. During a battle 200 years ago, the Victorian army joined forces with 2 other nations to lay siege to a land called Kasdel. One night, an entire army of heavily armed troops disappeared in the valley where they were stationed. The Count who was dispatched the army sent men to investigate their whereabouts, but only saw the crimson of the setting sun reflected against the mountain walls. And everyone remembered that day. The sun had not come out at all.
The third safety lock.
Is this the last one?
Lovicia doesn't answer her. Just like her answer, devoured by the monster flooding through the pipes. I don't want to fight the pipe monster.
予測通りの戦いでした。
Then again, maybe it's not gonna be as bad as that annoying thing, you know? As in, there's one mechanic that I really hate. Like, oh, look at this one person who has a lot of people going after them. Let me explode.
So you're here.
Manfred?
It seems the Sanguinarch will be greatly disappointed. He detests dark, damp places the most, yet went to the rebel subterranean nest to seize you personally. He must surely have caught up to your friends by now. One wonders if the cries from the underground will carry so far up this tower. You wicked devil. No, I don't admire his methods whatsoever. The rebels who died to my cannon fire are far luckier than the ones suffering his torment. You're both just the same. In your eyes, maybe so. Whenever you use devil and such to refer to us all, it shows that fear and hatred have long clouded your eyes. The Victorians regard the Sarkas as a collective of barbarians reveling in slaughter. Those who thought like that are now either kneeling before the throne, or are now pale skeletons dried up on the city walls.
You and Teresa's. The army you've led has devastated the city. No matter how you claim you and the vampire are different, you're both invaders here, hands dripping with blood.
You seem to misunderstand, Goddess of Rhodes Island. I'm not solely drawing lines between myself and the Prince of Blood. Yes, in a certain respect, his predilections disgust me.
But yeah, luckily this is not too bad playing without sound. Cause I can't miss what I don't have, haha. Just kidding, I can't even say that saying. Like, you can't miss what you've never experienced. It's something I would want to put to this situation, but no, I cannot say that because... Like, gacha. I miss a lot of gacha because I don't summon the person I want, and then I can miss them even though I never got them before. So I can never say that saying, but yeah. It ain't too bad not being able to hear stuff. Because the visual is what matters to me the most. As long as I can see something, I'm happy. I am satisfied. Heck, I'll even watch shows silently sometimes if I want to sneak it.
I'm not solely drawing lines between myself and the Prince of Blood. Yes, in a certain respect, his predilections disgust me. But I, like him, do not work the way all the kings of the court do. When they stand in front of you, they see your majesty's successor, and they may treat you with skepticism, curiosity, or disgust for it.
I can only feel vigilance from you.
Yes, Courteous, I simply see you as a dangerous enemy. Did he just toss a grenade at us?
Hold on to the wall. It's his art. He's using art's energy to make shockwaves. He's trying to throw us off the city.
Ugh, can't stand straight. It's like every part of the ground's erupting.
The drones can't get near him. Any closer at all, and they'll lose balance. Everyone, get behind me. Amiya? Are his arts fusing with yours? He's deliberately narrowed and sharpened his attack. He's breaking down the energy layers I form. What? You're able to resist a Draco's flames, though. He's familiar with your combat style. His arts are targeted at Amiya because Amiya's the chosen one.
I knew full well that you'd come. You think I just sit here waiting for you? There goes another one. It's not just the ground, it's above us. Wherever red flashes by, it explodes in midair. Miss Amiya, can't you use mental arts? Can you try and just cram his head with some kind of rubbish?
No. He's too well defended and he's too calm. I can feel the edges of his emotions, but right now, his heart only thirsts for victory. Okay, Manfred, I know that feels. Like, nah, all I want is victory. Same here, Manfred. Depending. I want to experience her arts. Honestly, it sounds kind of interesting at least once. Just for fun, like when Castoria took all of my saint quartz that I gave her and bought for her and did not come home. That feels. Felt so much rage at that time. Good thing I summoned off stream because, oh, that hurt. It did hurt a lot. Like, Castoria, you beach. You came home from my brother and this many saint quartz I gave you, like 500 saint quartz, and you said no to me, girl. So there was just a slightest bit of rage. Okay, a lot of bit of rage. So it would have been nice to have Amiya's arts at that time. He's stalling for time. Yes, and his mind isn't set on this battle. He's just waiting for the vampire and the defense artillery to destroy the resistance.
Stalling for time. Decent conjecture. Misaki Nobunaga, I've always been more intrigued by you than the Courteous, who lucked into the power of the king. You faced graver circumstances than this on the battlefield. The choices you make always seem to be the ones more beneficial to the whole. Please tell me, what are you about to do next?
I'm gonna punch you, Manfred.
Will you expend all your efforts here to kill me and eliminate a long-term threat? Or think of some other way to get around me and save those Victorians below?
I'm gonna punch you. The goal is to punch you, Manfred. Whether you live or die from that punch, it's all up to fate. Wah! Mr. Ballin, what's happening up ahead?
Partial collapse of the passageway. 3 fighters couldn't escape in time.
Route around it, we're passing on. Remember, no matter who we lose in this journey, the rest of us cannot stop. Oof to those 3 people.
Up quick. Do you see that train?
Ooh. I see the train. I want to ride like an official train. I mean, I rode that one free tram thingy in Las Vegas that was in the sky. I mean, it was kind of like a train. I rode one of those tiny trains, like you know the ones that little kids ride on, and there's like a person in front that drives them around. I was on that before, but not one of these kinds of trains because that don't exist, or I've never seen it over here, anyways.
The Sarkas haven't found us yet, from the looks of it. Let's think of a way to blend in there and grab the controls.
What would be the most lost in the current conflict that I'm in? My allies. Fortunately, all the people. So many people lost their lives here already. Harmo, watch out!
Sarkas crossbowmen, they've ambushed us. Rock, one step out and we'll get hit. Then we run back underground.
Going back's riskier still. The commander says our only chance is to get the train moving before the Starcats destroy the space underground.
But Harmo...
Captain Harmo gave his life. I'm in charge now. Listen, we have to start the train immediately after we interrupt their shelling. If I fall, then it's down to the next one. Even if it's just one man left in the end, we have to get him out of here. I think this door is almost a lost cause, isn't it?
Commander, we'll hold them off.
Don't, you can't.
Ha, ha. You think we don't know that, Rhodes Islander? Men of the 13th with me. Hey, you're running backwards. Don't be daft. The door's down. Shoot! Blow 'em up! Everyone go. We're taking that monster down with us. Arg!
He's here. Oh no, do I gotta fight the vampire? That is a lot of blood. The smoke clears, and a figure emerges from the end of the jet black tunnel. I want to fight Manfred. The monster brandishes no claws, has no twisted limbs, bears no sharp fangs nor keen incisors, nor grows any extraneous feelers. He seems like nothing more than a young noble whose picture could be in the papers, one who'd speak frankly about Londinium's political and economical situation. If only the ground below his feet was not soaked in fresh blood.
What a terrible smell. Your men fight rather too dirty. Monster. Don't think of getting near the commander. My hand. Nothing even touched. Ugh! Ha. Now the sense much cozier. I wouldn't mind using the only thing of your worth in your bodies to give the floor a wash.
The vampire airily lifts a finger, as if holding up a crystal chalice, or following the pulse of a piece of music. The shadows leap up from beneath him, latching onto the soldiers' bodies, winding about their limbs. What chilling screams follow are drowned entirely under the liquid that bursts forth. The concentrated iron reek pouring into nasal cavities, bright red overflowing wherever one looks. I'm imagining lots of squishy sounds, and it's because of all the blood. This is the instant the people stood at the tunnel's other end realized. What chased them was no shadow at all. It was running blood as thick as could be. Oh man, the hallway must smell terrible. Blood smells gross. It really does. Plus, since we've been fighting a lot and running around, it's probably sweat and blood. Ugh.
Is this how Warfarin enclosure used to look?
That's the first thing that pops into your mind?
Well, what the hell do you want me to think? It's better than being stark terrified, innit? Run. Run like hell. I'm just silent because the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, he's beautiful. But no self, do not get distracted by the beauty. Where is the king of sarcasm?
But yeah, he looks so pretty. I love his hair. I do like his outfit too. Like, he just looks so pretty. First we're just like, oh, hello, beautiful.
But no. Where is the king of sarcasm? What are you? I come so far. Go to all this trouble for an audience with her, and she cowers behind you frail little creatures, not even daring to meet me? Ugh. Amiya. He's here for Amiya. You mean that king, whatever he said? You sure that's Amiya? Isn't Amiya a courteous? Forget it. It's not important. But Amiya's not here. That's good. Fair. Even she might not cope best with this monster of a thing. Wonder if her and the doctor have almost won. What am I even thinking? Even if they can shut this city artillery down, we're about to be torn to scraps here. Vina, what's our plan? Run. I don't want to, and I can't die here. So run, Vina. Run into the darkness before you. Don't think. These tunnels will take you anywhere you wish to go. Good thing she's familiar with those tunnels. We can't keep this deadlock up anymore. Doctor, step back. I'm going to condense stronger energy. I have to defeat Manfred as quickly as possible. No. Doctor, please trust me. I've matured a lot since the last time I removed my inhibitors. I knew I wouldn't let myself fall just as we entered Londinium. He's hoping you'll do this. Let me punch him instead. His energy is densifying. It's like a net from head to toe. It's everywhere. The air is full of invisible originium crystals. He's scattering them as beacons for his attacks. No wonder. It's like invisible drones are throwing bombs all about.
Mr. Faced, you and Closure have to get away. If you get caught up, there'll be nowhere to hide.
You can use more strength than that, Courteous.
I'm forcing my arts against his energy flow.
Savor it. I formed this cage myself.
Am I less able to shake it the more I struggle?
Courteous, you said my mind wasn't set on this battle with you. You were only half correct. I'll deliver you bound before Her Majesty. The Sarkas in Londinium are loath to see an outblood flaunting her borrowed power from the king.
I can't, and I don't want to command them.
Of course you can't.
But they shouldn't be commanded by Teresa's either. When I stayed in Castel, I saw so many Sarkas warriors. Plenty of them were mercenaries. After that, at Chernobog, I met them again. Even when they were being exploited by Tallulah, at least they knew who their enemy in each battle was. And knew they were giving up their lives for a future. And then a little punk would make them into zombies. But now, you've trapped them inside a foreign city. Ever since the moment I came, I've sensed their frustration, their anxiety, their bewilderment. Oh no, Manfred's like, Susie, oh no, I feel fear then. But I'd rather fight him.
You read my warrior's emotions.
The net's tightening? Are you angry?
Courteous. Has anyone ever told you you're too conceited? You're no more than an infected. You've never experienced for yourself what truly constitutes a Sarkaz life. You simply sit on the side and watch. What makes you think you can truly comprehend our pain, our resentment?
It's true. I might not be able to comprehend. But the fire that blazes in your heart, it's burned since the distant past into the present. From the first raising of Casdo to today in Londinium, and even now, it's still within me. It burns incomparably true. Truer than any illusion that words or arts could conjure.
Say your piece as you please, Infected. I know how this power of yours originates. Once a lie is spun, it will not be any less of a lie, no matter how contrived the liar is of it.
Sarkaz, Infected. No matter how you identify each one of us, we're all just ordinary people wanting to live through the unjust circumstances we're put in. But Teresa's has brought everyone into a hopeless war. Look at the Victorian Duke's armies outside the city. All it takes is for them to point their lances the same way. It could be Casdo, it could be Londinium. But all that awaits the Sarkaz then is ruin. No matter what you're using to spur them on, bloodlines, authority, renown, it's those that are the total lies.
When did you reform your energy and make some scant space? I was not wrong, courteous. You were very dangerous. Your power, your speech. It may be unable to shake our mightiest soldiers, but it certainly brings our enemies the delusion of hope. I don't want them struggling any further. You have no choice but to stop here. I won't ever let you enter the city again.
But I will crush flat this cage of yours. Cage? I'm not even sure it lives up to that. Huh?
Someone's altering the density of my arts? Wait, it's you again.
Oh, hey, Misery.
Doctor, am I a little late here? Finding a route through Londinium city walls, well, it's tough, even for me. Lucky I found a few outstanding helpers.
Appreciated. Thank you, Misery. Amiya, we're switching battlefields. Closure, position drones. Based, zipline. Amiya, we're switching battlefields. Bye. And now we jump. Minutes before. Doctor, I've locked onto Manfred. Barely anybody's with him. He's not scared of us approaching him. You think he's overpowered? He looks like he eats fights for breakfast. Maybe Teresa's taught him a bunch of moves. Can we seriously pound him into stopping the artillery like a good boy with just 5 minutes? No, scratch that, no. No, we... At this point, you can't count me in face as part of your combat force. Throwing logistics guys into the fray would be a hell of a way to waste lives. Amiya, you're all we've got. Manfred is a powerful enemy. But we've faced powerful enemies to come all this way, and we'll surely face more still. Amiya, you keep all of Manfred's attention. Close your face, ready to retreat from the tower. The one we're waiting for is almost here. The one we're waiting for is almost here.
Reprising old tricks. Did you really think I'd let you all escape the second time?
A thread of energy comes rushing in, as if it's locked into some position in the air. You almost feel the point of the sword sliced at the tip of your feet. Until a shield comes down in front of you all. Yay, we're finally reunited with Horn. Hey girl, long time no see. I mean, Amiya's not lying. She said she's not gonna ever truly understand what they're feeling or what they went through. So she's telling the truth. Also, she has the power of emotions. And she's very empathetic, so...
Drop any thoughts of pursuing them, Sarkaz. Your fight is right here. White Wolf, I didn't imagine you would come face me again. So this passage is bidirectional. What a surprise. You sent them away and brought yourself in at the same time. It wasn't me. It was us.
Behind Horn, a soldier stands up. And then a second, and then a third. And now, over a dozen Victorian soldiers block the Sarkaz general's way. All of them, camouflages dropped. They wear a dizzying array of different uniforms, the majority scarred in the roiling flames of war, some covered in mud and cobweb, some splattered by the blood of their own comrades. Their weapons are just as motley, some still holding regulation swords, some instead toting self-fashioned crossbows. But their faces all bear an identical vigor. This time, they stand firm or fall once and for all. They will never retreat. I'm kind of excited to fight Manfred at the same time. I feel some fear knowing his ability. If he's like, Susie, no!
A gaggle of leftover forces, thinking they can defeat me. You aren't fit to fight me, even with a weapon. Have you forgotten you owe your last escape from my grasp entirely to that Rhodes Island Sarkaz meddler? You can stop checking all around Sarkaz. When you don't respect your opponent on the battlefield, you're the first to fall. Your blabbering may well be more stubborn than your shield. Herg, watch the enemy's attack angle. Assemble behind me. I wasn't planning to eliminate you, but I didn't know you would be so eager to hold your own funeral. Here I thought you'd have some level of tactical prowess, White Wolf. You bring a platoon of wounded men to resist me, and have your soldiers give up their lives one after another. Is this your so-called professional spirit? Don't forget where you've stood right now. This is the city wall of Londinium. Don't go assuming you've already conquered her, Sarkaz. See for yourself. We're still right here.
Man, Horn is so cool. I can't wait her to reunite eventually. Oh, I can't wait for a nice reunion for her. That's gonna be adorable. Decisions. You know, I'll put people.
ドクター、ここっていい戦闘態勢に入ります。
No fear, no fear, no fear.
私に出会ったのが運の尽きだ。
No fear. Okay, Susie will go down as soon as she can because Susie's the bestest.
こそ皆さんをお助けする時です。
No fear.
私に早く離れてください。
I'm sorry, Texas. Do a thing for now, please.
指定の位置に向かう。
Too close, but it's okay.
自分のために。
Those can get through for now. Oh no, never mind.
わあ、リンゴちゃん。
Light fear.
今日もよろしくね。指定の位置に向かう。
And let me put her here because just in case. Oh, hello, Manfred. Please do not do a thing yet, sir.
遺言の伝達。断る。
Stay there, Manfred. Do not move.
みんな、こっち来て。ドキドキ。
Get him. Okay, Silver Ash is here. He's prepared.
山々となる。強化し。
I'm sorry, Saria. And let's see.
みんな。
Go get him. Let's wreck him. Oh no, he's healing.
私の声に応える。
Oh no. You can accelerate the cannon. I don't like that at all.
距離を合わせて。
Yeah, Manfred instills some fear.
私の声に応える。本気で行くよ。
Girl, can you just like not do that? Thank you. I'm so sorry, Mudrock.
大地こそ
You
が
are
我が
suffering here.
分かった目を凝らすこれこそが
But look at her taking it like a boss.
何を片付ければいい
Get out of here, Manfred.
大地こそが我が友
Thank you, Mudrock. You are the MVP up there. Wait, Susie will help you.
Mission accomplished.
Fighting on regular mode is gonna be painful later, but I want those delicious prisms.
You're already down to your last few men. On any past battlefield, Victoria would have needed at least 2 more Steam Knights in order to hold me off. But look at yourselves now. You're just a bunch of plain soldiers. Hold formation. Those who still have energy in your shields, stand together with me. Snipers, sustain fire, pin him. Yes, Captain. I've said it before, no matter how strong he is still just a flesh and blood Sark has infected. His arts have a limit. You want to wait until I cast my body dry? You'll never live to see me exhaust my strength. Ugh. Blake. Horn, take my sword. Got it. When they fall, they turn their gazes to you, still with hope. I never thought I'd see such brilliance in Londinium again. But how much longer can this fragile light persist? Horn! Robin? No cause for alarm. Falling here. Just returning back to Londinium's land.
No, Robin!
Snarkaz! You fired all your remaining ammunition at once. Well done. You stopped me in my tracks for the first time. But after this, you're out of tricks. After you watch your comrades die one by one, will you lose the will to fight too, White Wolf?
Go bonk 'em. Rita, I can understand how disappointed you are in your father. Yes, a soldier's blood flows through my body. But just as Victoria invented steam trains, yet only decades later abandoned steam, modern Victoria has taken off the crown meant for the people to lift their gazes at, and no longer needs soldiers like your great-grandmother or me to fight for her. There will come a day the White Wolf, together with the lion Padishaw he accompanied, will be no more than indistinct images left in the history books. Your father's taking note of that. He's ground down his own sharp claws, so the family isn't torn apart by the tides of the ages. But you're different. You grow in a changing Victoria. Rita Scamandros, you won't need to fight a land trotters campaign in the name of the Aslan King. But Victoria is still your home.
Sarkaz. So long as you occupy our cities, I will always have a reason to fight. My desire to defeat you is shared with every Victorian. Your shield is of little use now. I still have a sword. Your sword, heh, common as could be. You want to battle me with a sword like this? Don't underestimate it or me. You're so fond of remembering the Steam Knights. When you take off the armor that Victoria forged them, they turn out just to be Victorians.
Ooh, back on this side?
We actually got inside? Why has the wall turned so soft?
Not bad. For an instant back there, I thought I was gonna get my head painted over Londinium's walls. It was Misery's art. He wouldn't see us hurt.
Right. Kelsey told me your brain was an important asset to Rhodes Island.
My hands don't come cheap either. Come on. After that, I'm never asking you to hitchhike with you again. Blaze carrying me everywhere is a way smoother ride than your heart. Am I right, or am I right, Doctor? Your hands are always busy, that's gotta be something. I wouldn't say the Blaze Express is that comfortable. You'd better take a breather, Misery. I agree, Misery. I saw it clearly. Manfred almost impaled you with that thrust.
That was just a desperation blow. He had no other move. You successfully provoked his rage, and then made him overlook my approach. I didn't even think I could fool him twice.
I didn't at all intend to. When he asked me that, I definitely felt his anger. That rage of his rushed at me like a heat wave.
If Manfred uses all his strength, anyone nearby would have trouble lasting for long. Best I.
Misery, I know that you want to help that Victorian officer, but using large-scale matter transformation art several times in a day is too taxing on your body.
It's okay, Amiya. I won't drop dead for a while yet. Besides, I promised Kelsey.
You elite operators make plenty of promises to Dr. Kelsey, don't you? Inject these emergency meds into yourself. The fight in Londinium's only just begun, and I don't want to see you off somewhere alone again, swallowing down all the blood you're practically throwing up.
Amiya, enemies inbound.
Amiya, cut them off. Faced, tie up 6 zip lines to me. Closure, let's plant that bomb. Misery found us a weak spot. A weak point in Londinium's defense system. We need to see this control room destroyed. Dang, the Misery's helping up here too, huh? Misery, you're such a sweetie.
Blistering speed, White Wolf. This was your true aim, wasn't it? Fangs and claws as fierce as these, yet tamed by Victoria's noble etiquette. Was it really worth it?
And yeah, I know that it only just begun. We haven't defeated any of the royals yet. That Manfred fight was just a warm-up.
Sarkaz, wasn't your present appearance once packaged in so-called culture? I hear your people used to look very different. You can try your hardest, but you still cannot kill me. So long as the city's defenses continue to churn. No, wait. White Wolf, you're only stalling me. You and Rhodes Island are collaborating again. Do you know who they are? Do you know what that courteous leader? I only know that they can stop you.
I mean, another person with extreme leadership and resolve would be Amiya, for example. But besides Amiya, there's also Dr. Kelsey, because everyone loves... I mean, they either love or hate her. Like, heck, look at the elite operators making promises to her. Like, I promised her this, this, this. Ah, yes, I also promised her this, this, and this. Me too. Me 3, me 4, me 5. Everyone.
White Wolf, should you miraculously succeed today, you will witness a corner of Londinium's walls collapse with your own eyes. Is that what you want to see? From this moment on, the legend of Londinium ever standing may well no longer. From this moment on, the fact you can be stood here means the idea that Londinium has never fallen is nothing more than a self-reassuring joke. Damn you! If those dukes outside take note of this. Are you aware? You're finally showing a hint of panic in your face. That goes to show my decision was the correct one.
Depending if what Dr. Kelsey wants me to promise her. Like if she told me, promise me you won't spend any money in your gacha games this month? No. Never. I would never promise her that.
If this wall only exists to smother the screams of the Victorians within, then it's already lost its founding purpose. You ought to let those dukes hear how our fellow citizens cry out under your slaughter.
How much longer until we can go outside? Oh, it feels like this passage is about to collapse. Are we all going to die here? Don't look down and don't look back. If the fear gets to be too much, just stare at the way ahead. The signal light's still on. This is our hope that our soldiers lit for us. We wait for the light as it turns bright, and then we can catch sight of the sun and the Londinium once again. Well, hello, and thank you.
Their firepower is too strong. Rock. We can't get any closer to the train. The bombardment hasn't stopped. Can the people down below still hold out? How much time do we have left? There's been no word from the commander's end.
I believe in my family. That's the one and only reason I've kept on this far. Thank you for believing, Rock.
Bloody hell! I can't get these things off me.
That's not it. You saw how fast they were a moment ago. He's slowing them on purpose, like he's just watching how long we can run for. What kind of sicko is he?
Listen to the sounds of your breaths, your pulses. Are you finally tired out?
Is this the honor of the Sarkas?
This isn't fit to be called a battle. Battle? You seem to have the wrong idea.
I mean, Rock's doing her job. Like, I mean, anyone should do their job, really. So she's just doing what she's supposed to do. I mean, under the circumstances, it is extreme, but still. She's doing her job.
You seem to have the wrong idea. The King of Sarkas isn't here, so I'm left with no matching opponent at all. Would you converse with a meat beast about glory or honor, when you know full well that hunting them serves to do nothing but excite your senses, that their only ultimate service is as an entree on your dinner table? You treat us as prey? You may be a Sarkas, but slaughtering like this, out of pure personal taste, is still far too barbaric. Do not appraise me by your understanding of culture. It would be the most hideous kind of slander to me. Try and resist me before the filthy rubble pummels you into mincemeat here. I will borrow your blood to record your feelings at death's door. All your fear, unwillingness, anger. Let them burst forth upon me to your heart's content. Vina, get over here. No. Vina. Morgan, you fall back too. Erg.
You're going to stand in front of us. You're going to stand in front of all of us and resist him?
Yes.
You're no match for him.
I know.
And you're not planning to turn and flee. Even if you'll be shredded in an instant, have your flesh leave the dullest stain on this whole tunnel?
Only if. You can all run faster than I can.
Why?
Because. There is no because. I just want to do this. When the city above us falls towards us, I want to be the first to embrace it in that instant.
If that's so.
The signal light in this passage seems to grow brighter.
Are her eyes failing her? Why is there starlight in Londinium's underground? No. How long have they gone without seeing the stars behind the clouds, even on the surface? Siege blinks. She suddenly realizes there is no star. That is no star. It is a button. The detritus that caked it has been shaken off, and now it is shining, and she has the exact fortune to know what it does. She was first brought underneath the palace at 3 years of age. Her mentor carried her upon his back, using a tremendous paw to guide her in pushing this button. Londinium subterranean sprawled out about its own muscle and bone, exposing to the future liege its veins and arteries filled with life. Yo, good thing she can remember that from that age. That is a core memory. Over 20 years later, she is found it for the second time. Bombs mounted on all nodes.
Doctor, I've got our retreat ready. Move it. They're in here. Stop them.
Erg. Amiya. Damn it. How are they coming so thick and fast? Did Misery leave too late? Did they not stall Manfred? I'll hold them off. All of you go. Doctor, give the detonator to me.
No.
You won't have a chance to retreat unless I lock down these enemies. Once you've successfully withdrawn, I'll blow up this control room straight away.
No.
Doctor? We can't wait any longer. Think of the Self-Salvation Corps fighters, Victoria's soldiers, Lady Heidi and Siege's team. And every single Victorian being bombarded right now. None of us can hold on anymore. Amiya, take my hand. Tell me when to push the detonator. Doctor! I ain't leaving you behind, bestie.
These black lines are everywhere. I can't see anything.
Now. I mean, the Prince of Blood's just having fun at this point. He just sees them as prey. Doctor, why are you in front of me? Because I want to be. I'm not the weak child I was anymore. I won't drag you down anymore. I can withstand these arts and these flames. I know. You're so powerful now. Far more powerful than I am, probably. I like how I have to add on that probably. Yeah, like sure, you're probably stronger than me. Maybe. But no matter how many opportunities you give me to choose, no matter if we're confronted with the Draco's flames or the fiery light of these explosions, this is what I want to do. Doctor.
Oof, got you. Wondered why you asked me for those 6 zip lines, Doctor. This is what it was for. It'll be hard to move about, but oh well. Not as if you run fast ordinarily. Fly, my drones.
How's that for a surprise, Doctor? In response to your demands, I've tinkered on my drones and have finally developed a people-towering glider function. There's a cap on its long-term use, but at least it'll get us safely on the ground. Now's the time to dial up the explosions. Oh yeah, epic getaway. Big boom.
The control room.
They did it.
Erg. How? How long ago did you tire out? You can't even brandish your sword now. You really were doing nothing but making a stand with all you had. Anyone else with your wounds would be in a coma 10 times over by now. Now you realize. Slow, aren't you? General, the explosion in the control room has affected the cannons. The batteries and the minor section of the wall structure here have all been severely damaged. If we hang around here any longer, we'll fall. Notify all hands, retreat. What about the soldier? I've defeated her already, but toppling her would require spending more effort still. And it's not worth spending the time here any longer. Ha, ha ha. White Wolf of Victoria, you are a worthy opponent.
Wow, Manfred respects her. What's the top priority in this conflict? Surviving right now?
should you live to descend the city wall. Then next time we meet, by my sword, I will send you to a death befittingly heroic.
Wow, he's even smiling at her when he leaves. Like, you girl, you cool. Let's have a rematch.
Next time.
Will there be a next time? Londinium's wall is falling down. And so, she endlessly falls too.
I did it. Until you all left, I did not fall.
Her blood flows out, and she almost loses the last speck of awareness she has. But her body is as if a part of her sword and shield at this point, harder than steel, unbending unless shattered. The weapon forged by Victoria still stands upon Londinium's wall, so the soldier she tempered to fruition keeps her watch upon it too, until a corner of it crashes into its city's ground, and she returns to the land that raised her.
Just how tall is this wall? Why is it like I'm flying up?
She is ascending.
Horn, can you still move? Grab my hand quick.
Who dat? Robin, you're still alive?
Robin? You're not... Yes, I'm not dead. I was lucky enough to grab onto the outside structure when I fell, and then Mr. Misery here saved me again. Come, soldier. You haven't finished your fight yet.
Wow, Mr. Misery. Misery's cool.
You lot, honestly. You won't ever let me rest, will you?
I'm happy Robin's still here. Robin's stuck with Horn the longest out of her current crew.
Nope. Horn, don't shut your eyes. Don't forget, your soldier's still here. You can't fall. Robin, you've turned as noisy as a certain someone now. Oh, forget it. I've never been able to do anything about you lot.
I like how Misery's just like, I like this group. I'm gonna follow them. I'm gonna help them. Her vision becomes clear once again. The city wall of Londinium is still there. And though its highest height is now adorned by the tiniest hole, it still seems as towering, as unyielding as ever. And now we're back down here. What's it shaking?
Artillery finally do the underground structure in?
No, that's not it. The shaking's coming from underneath us. Vina, what did you do?
I found a path we can walk. Is this whole tunnel moving up? How? You'd think we know it could do that after living here for so long, right?
There are always some locals who'll know more than others.
That monster. Is it still gonna come after? It will. But maybe not today. So, you found a new course to flee down? But of course, this scent. Is it that beeline giving it off? No. So-called royal families are no more than a lie. So-called to consolidate power and coin, as laughable as this nation's culture. Even if she is a runaway's cub, the smell of her blood would be no different to any other feline. So this completely different scent. Interesting. Does Teresa's know about this? You'll have no chance to verify for yourself. Oh? I remember who you are. You're that little disciple by Teresa's side. Even if your teacher was stood right here, he would be trouble to apprehend me. He is no longer fit to be my teacher anymore. This odor of cursecraft. So you've come too, Banshee. I'd never thought you were in that city right now, playing games with my entourage. Trifling, unpracticed artists. They weren't enough to hinder my step. That makes things tricky. This underpass on the verge of collapse is no fine place for the royal court to congregate. Am I nothing in his eyes just because I didn't learn my skills from Teresa's or have any noble blood? This long-winded old man genuinely pissed me off. I'm going to gift him 100 bombs as a farewell present. Any of you have any objections?
Ah, yes, bombs.
Report. Rhode Island's people have jumped out from the control room. They had that caught us, so we couldn't snipe them. And the rebels in the underground tunnels. We detected an explosion from beneath, and the Sanguinarch hasn't returned yet. Where is Hoderer? He's severely wounded and currently unconscious. Assemble what workers remain and have them inspect the city defense systems and report the damages. We must be prepared to activate more batteries, and even the main cannons. Surround the remaining individuals at the station. The surviving rebels will be sure to pass through there. The scouts are reporting. They've detected another group rapidly closing in on the station.
Manfred, don't blame yourself too much. You've already tried your hardest.
What are you doing here?
Wow, there's actually a record regarding that situation. Whose record was it? Is it W's? Or is it someone else's?
Rock, take a look at the city wall.
The defense artillery's been shut down. Send the signal.
They're coming. They're all coming. With the Sarkaz, they're all rushing this way. Stop them. Kill every last one.
If we can just repel the Sarkaz, we can start the train.
You're not getting away that easily. How's the rebel army coming from that way too?
What? Is that reinforcement? Oh! Mudrock. Interesting how it's Mudrock's one, though, for her record.
A team's broken through the Sarkaz forces blockade from the north side. Who called them in? Did some of the messengers we sent to the city center survive? Did they get to ask for help? You've done a fine job, my Sudan friends. You can leave the next battle to us now. We're more on the professional end. The way they work, they must have loads of experience.
Well, backup, yay! Is that Rhodes Island's operator?
Break them up. Make a passage and ensure the self-salvation fighters withdraw from the underpass safely.
Oh, thank you, Dagda. She came back with reinforcements.
Snipers, take down those signalers. It's Miss Montague.
Montague?
That name rings a bell and a half. Some noble in the paper or something?
Don't get distracted. No matter who they are, we're on the same side. I'm surprised she came back so quickly. I thought it would take until, like, episode 11 for her to come back. But no, she's back pretty fast. We can get through. Quick, lead everyone onto the train. Oh wow, Lady Heidi, we've made it. I told you. Our soldiers won't let us down. They're her people. Did our messengers get in contact with her? To be more precise, it was your Rhodes Island messenger.
Dogda, look! It's Dogda! That tart.
There among the crowd, Dogda sees them too. She throws down the sarcasm she's tussling with and rushes through the passage made with no hesitation, arms reached out to her partners caked in grime. Oh, that's a cute reunion.
I was so scared I'd be late. No, you weren't. No matter when you came back, we could never call you late. Bastard you! You stormed off just like that, remember? I didn't even get to beat you up.
You're still in time to do it now. Hey, Vina, did you know she'd come back?
I knew.
I get you hid that from Indra. She'd never take help from noble mercenaries. From nobles mercenaries unless it was critical as this, end of the line type.
Stop griping about me, and let's get these idiots dealt with first.
I never stopped here. Vina, I didn't finish. You could have at least given me a shout. You had me wondering if Dogda was off in some corner again, even while we were being killed. I was all ready to take the sarcasm down with me.
I'm sorry, Morgan.
This won't happen again, I swear. Siege group, fully assembled. We just wait for the doctor's lot to come back. And we can all get out of here together. Everyone, we're back. Amiya? Fancy coming in from the sky, all of you. We're touching down. Gangway, out of the way.
Grab the zipline. Don't crash into the train. It's our only means of escaping alive.
I've got the doctor held. We're right. Safe landing.
We actually made it? Rock. Commander, is Rock alright? Everyone evacuated out?
We have more survivors than anticipated. It's thanks to you, Face, and everyone you brought in from Rhodes Island.
Ha. You see that, old Bill?
No. Don't you faint on the job now. The battle's still not done. If you can move, then come help me in the engine room.
There are still Sarkis forces pursuing us.
There's nothing they can do now. Because we'll hold them off here.
Right. Damned right.
Us together.
Commander, the train's heading off.
Already?
Amiya, we're getting on.
Alright. Go. Amiya? Amiya, careful. The train's moving. Amiya. What are you looking at? The goddess girl does not reply to you. Her body is still. Even her breathing seems to have stopped. Amiya looks shocked. Very, very shocked. You can tell she's shocked. She's never let emotions as unveiled and intense show before the operators. This moment is incomparable. Oh. At the same time, the Sarkas chasing the train all come to a halt. They all turn their heads, looking in the same direction. A Sarkas enters the ruins. All smoke seems to part at her feet. All sounds of fire suspended about her. Only wind remains, growing stronger and fiercer. The ash laden on the ground is blown about, some sticking to her tire, some smudging her pale hair. She seems not to mind at all, only silently gazing into a point of the ruins. It seems to have once been a part of the defense artillery. A jet black foul beast is there now, perched atop the still, warm cannon mouth. Most likely disturbed by the train picking up in speed, it shakes off its wings. As if somewhat in response, the pale-haired sarcast turns around. She should have no sight of who's aboard the train, but her expression is as if she has recognized who's looking at her. What do I see in Teresa's expression? For me, that's just like a... Let's see how I would describe it. I can't say blank expression. It's not really blank. It's more like she's daydreaming. You know, like that one expression someone makes when they're like daydreaming. It's not necessarily blank, but it's not necessarily like, you know, super intense. It's like, oh, I wonder what she's thinking. Her face is so warm, and her eyes are so filled with sorrow. The sorrow is so much, perhaps not all of it comes from her, but comes from the one who stares at her too. Amiya, are you alright? The Courteous girl finally comes back to reality. She still doesn't give you a response, and you're in no rush for her to give one. In one ear, you hear the calls of foul beasts. You see a flock of them out of the window flapping through the air, rushing into the gale ahead of you. If anything, I expected her to show up, like in front of us, at the last section of episode 10. But this isn't the last one, I think. The train takes you rapidly from the station. The city wall, the war, and that pale-haired figure all are left far, far behind you. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Is that the remnants of cannon fire lingering in your brain? The train bumping against the railway, or thunder in those gloomy clouds gathering not far away? The center of Londinium is right before you. Like, I thought she would show up at the end of episode 10 just because that'd be like the ultimate cliffhanger. And all of you are riding into the storm. What a train ride. That is an experience. Ooh. Reflection of an ideal. There was once someone who could answer all of our questions, but now we must find a new answer together.
Your Majesty.
Regretfully, I was late.
Does Your Majesty share the same regrets I do? That we were not able to stop them here?
Manfred. Back then, in Castel, you would never speak to me so guardedly. Back then, you'd look me straight in the eye.
Your Majesty, Castle was nothing more than a cluttered ruin and a thick stack of blueprints. In all those years, you and the General... No, as things are now, there is no need to speak of past matters. Your Majesty has returned to this General's side. Together, you shall rule the royal court and bring the Sarkis victory once again, just as countless times in the past. For me and the rest of the men, we need only remember this.
Yes, even so, Manfred. I really wish to meet the girl.
Your Majesty!
Do you think a person dreams in death? I've dreamt of them often. The past few months. Again and again, I dream of that ship. I dream of conversations with a doctor of a few smiles. I dream of standing shoulder to shoulder with that silent commander on the ship's deck. I dream of sitting by her bedside every night, telling tales of the sarcasm and this great land, lulling the girl to sleep. Aw, those are cute dreams. That's adorable.
Is the general aware?
He knows all. However, a dream is but a dream. Isn't that so? I do wonder why she's here, though. I mean, she wants to meet up with Amiya, I guess, but even so, already?
Your Majesty, your cheeks.
It's just Ash.
I thought.
I do not shed tears. Yes. Why do I not shed tears?
Your Majesty, in the end, you still allowed her to go to the city walls. You were aware of the threat, the Sarkas. You are aware of the threat the King of Sarkas bears. Of course, not even Manfred or the Sanguinarch may be capable of successfully capturing the successor to that power.
I mean, in that brief time when I make up Teresa, I'm not entirely sure still because she's questioning why she's not crying. I mean, I think her dreams are cute, but her emotions might have been a little scrambled with the resurrection.
To defeat a Sarkas king, the safest choice is naturally another one. Did you not intend that when you raised that suggestion to me? I also remember that you nearly killed me when I first suggested to bring her back. Vomit-inducing, that's what you said. It's difficult to forget such a fury. My opinion has not changed. But we still need her, don't we? I mean, do we not? Only when the two of you stand together will the soldiers truly believe that the chaotic and dark era of the past is now history. They will never again question the legitimacy of your orders. They will no longer be two different voices in the Sarkas' hearts. To this end, we must get hold of the other Sarkas king as soon as possible. Then go and make sure of that. The soldiers must focus on the war ahead. They must clearly understand that they are following a ruler who can lead them out of their plight, and not just some power of dubious ownership. I know. You have never cared for that black crown. For your satisfaction, I have never stopped researching the Sarkas king either.
I mean, good for Teresa being disgusted by the resurrection at first. Like, that means he's not a total scumbag. But even so, he's just accepting it now, so... Still a scumbag.
Thanks to her, I've made great progress. Should we get our hands on that courteous too? Perhaps we will be able to truly understand the power of the Sarkas king before too long. The Sarkas are not slaves to any man or power. If the crown of the Sarkas king is but another shackle, then crush it. Your wish aligns with my own. It will be done, Your Majesty. I did not expect you to return so late, Your Highness. Heh. You seem tired. Confessarius, you neglected to inform me that the Banshee was there too. Ah, I thought you would have guessed it. Humph. A Banshee can be more trouble to deal with than a notch zerer. What frightening talent. That said, next time I'll simply stick his tongue in a crystal case and give it to his mother. The Regent and the Notchzera King will not be pleased, Your Highness. Then they best not find out. Also, that Manfred. How dare he use those toys mounted in the city walls on me? half of the filth on me is thanks to him. Perhaps I should teach him a lesson. I understand your frustrations, Your Highness. Consider this as a tiny compensation for the missing intel. I will suggest the Regent grant you the task of capturing the Sarkaz King. Heh. That bastard failed after all. I've been telling Teresis all this time, he's just a soft-hearted coward. It's fine. All this is within the Regent's plans. Let them celebrate for now. After all, the best way to crush hope is to first let it come to fruition. Ah. The nobles in the city grow restless once more. You're right. Let them continue with their folly. When the banquet is at its peak, and the abrupt shifting of laughter to horror, it's tantalizing. Incidentally, speaking of the nobles, is there anything Your Highness wishes to report to the Regent? No, nothing. Tell Teresis, I await the next banquet. He's obviously discovered something, but he's hiding it? These little moves, I fear the Regent will not tolerate him much longer. Leader. Any movement from the Duke's forces outside the city? Oh? The Nachzera King will be returning soon. Once he arrives, send him to meet the Regent immediately. Also, didn't you mention a Victorian noble sent some messengers back? Let us go and meet them. Sir, there's one more thing. Is there? She actually chose to return at such a time. Yes. Do you have a plan, sir?
Not gonna lie, he's pretty too.
Send a message to the Royal Academy of Sciences. It's time for a long-awaited family reunion. Liz, how are you feeling? Are we going too fast? Are you tired?
I'm fine.
You have to tell me if you feel any discomfort.
Yes, my chest feels a bit stuffy.
Is it because you're getting closer to home?
No, that isn't my home. Shining, my home is with you and Nerl. Oh, that is so cute!
I didn't want you to come back here.
But I wanted to. I want to go with you, and I want to find what I've lost. Man, pretty much all the Sarkaz are hot. Like, a lot of the girls are super good looking, and the guys too. Like, what the heck? I can feel that they're here.
Yes, Nightingale. We'll find them. And they'll help you get better. You are going to get better. And then, we'll return to Rhodes Island. Or we could go to Kashimirej. We'll go wherever you want.
You'll go with me, right?
Of course, Liz. No matter when, as long as you want it, I will stay by your side.
Oh, they're so cute together. It feels like going on a brand new journey, while also returning to the starting point. Its high walls give Londinium the feeling of a giant cage, or even a sealed graveyard, but it is also the past and present home of countless people. This place hides many answers, yet it also leads to a great deal more questions. Where are we going? To a reunion or a separation?
Are we alive? Yes. It looks like we can finally take a breather. Rock, why are you crying? I have never seen you cry before.
It's Nothing. I just... I thought of Bill. When I think of him, I just...
Old Bill.
No, I shouldn't do this. The battle isn't over.
It's fine, Rock. We're safe right now. We can take a break and think of Old Bill as our other friends. Before the next battle starts, it's what we ought to do.
Maybe next time for Mud Rocks. Since this isn't the end yet, right? And oh, who dis?
We meet at last. You are?
Allerdale, Cumberland. Call me Allerdale. I'm Clovicia's friend, and the Londinium Citizen Self-Salvation Corps' officer in charge of Osterig Borough. That is, Central Londinium. Cumberland? You're the Duke of Cumberland's. What do I think of her design? She kinda looks like Lapland. Like she could be Lapland's mama. Daughter. I was just a small child when father passed away. I only remember him brushing his sweat-laden beard on my face whenever he returned from a fencing match. This is the only memory I have after the 20 years. I heard the Duke of Cumberland was betrayed by other anti-royalist dukes. Father walked the path he believed in, all for the sake of his ideals. I respect him greatly, which is why I'm here. You and the other nobles within the city, you've been fighting against the Sarkaz? Yes, but our efforts have only just begun to bear fruit. And it's mainly the color scheme. Like, look, she has whitish gray hair, she has blue eyes, and she also has a scar. So I'm like, oh, those are similarities to Lapland. Even if she is a cat. Yes, but her efforts have only just begun to bear fruit. I was extremely surprised when Isabel came to look for me. Not just because she's the Count of Manchester's successor, although the Count has always been one of our most steadfast supporters. It's just that I thought all the knights of the tower were dead. Isabel's return was a great inspiration to many of us. Of course, what surprised me the most was you. You know who I am? I was not aware at first. How could I be surprised otherwise? All these years, we have never stopped looking for you, but there were never any clues. Many thought that you were long dead. I never believed so. I do believe many of those looking for me actually wanted to take my life. Perhaps so. But even among those, there are many who would have challenged their mind. There are many of those who would have changed their minds. You've seen what happened to Londinium. People lost their freedom long ago. All Victorians, even those nobles holding tightly onto their titles, must either become a slave to the Sarkaz, or tremble in fear as they hope to survive to the next day. Even deep in slumber, they instinctively cry out, "Your Majesty." Is there anyone who has not wondered, should that sudden execution all those years ago have gone another way, would Londinium be as it is today? Do you really think that my presence here would change anything? At the very least, it opens up a new possibility. Even though you appear to be contemplating, I know you've already set your heart on it. Oh? You sent Isabel to contact me. Is that not a sign that you're prepared to lead us against the Sarkaz? I don't deny that I've made a decision. But being prepared, you can never be fully prepared.
You're not wrong. We should begin, Lady Cumberland. Allerdale, please walk me through our current situation again. I'm sure you understand that I have a lot to catch up on. Great, I love your enthusiasm. That's just what we need right now. Then, welcome home, Alexandrina, Your Majesty.
The princess has returned.
Heidi.
Kelsey. Kelsey. It's tough to get a meeting with you.
Did anyone follow you?
Don't worry. I've carefully covered my tracks all the way here. How could I be your messenger if I wasn't even capable of that?
You've already done very well. Your father would be proud.
Haha. Frankly, many times in the past when I was close to failure, I would think of you and wonder what you would do. I would also think about what you would say if I could get everyone to make it through with me. But now that you're really standing before me, I suddenly feel that all those things I've imagined mean nothing.
Heidi, you're well prepared.
Indeed. At least, I will always be prepared. All of us will. By the way, are you in a hurry to see Amiya?
I've confirmed that she is currently safe. It's been a long time since I was in Londinium, so I have a number of matters I need to take care of.
That's good. There's someone she's been waiting to meet you.
Kelsey, start talking. I need an explanation. You're alive. And what exactly do you wish me to explain, W? You're as calm as ever. Hard for me to tell if you knew before you got here or not. Whatever, it doesn't even matter if you're a monster or not. I've got bigger fins to fry. It's Teresa. It really was Teresa.
How could you let Teresa get his hands on her body? Oh, now that's a cliffhanger. Continue the conversation, W. No! I mean, hey, Amiya. Sorry. I didn't see you coming. You've been preoccupied ever since the train. What did you see on the train? You've been preoccupied ever since the train. I'm on W's side, since W loved Teresa. Yes. I guess there's no hiding it. And I shouldn't hide it from you anyway. Dr. Misaki, I saw her. Doctor, Miss Rockrock really was talking about her. Kelsey said Dr. Kelsey said she's already and W's attitude towards me. 4 years ago, Teresa passed away. Even though Dr. Kelsey and W may disagree with me about the truth behind this, there's one thing we definitely wouldn't get wrong. That day, we really lost her. What's this about? I don't know, but the moment I saw her at the train station, I finally understood why I felt those emotions in Londinium. Besides anger, sorrow, and endlessly infinite sorrow. Yes, to the sarcasm, anger and sorrow are symbolic. It's just that they choose to dry their tears with anger most of the time. And all those emotions seem to converge in her eyes. Even Teresa had never. You're hurting. Hurting? Maybe. But compared to them, those sarcasms shattered by hate and prejudice, this is nothing. I can feel it. It's too little, far too little. I glimpsed it for a moment, but I was nearly drowned under that turbulent wave of emotion. What did Teresa go through? That's not your responsibility. Is it really not? Doctor, I said before that I really couldn't believe it was her. But when I saw her with my own two eyes, I found it wasn't really difficult at all to accept. Since I'm here, I need to know the truth. Not just the truth behind Teresa, but also the sarcasm within the city. What exactly did they experience? That they would be burdened with such anger and sorrow. And if the truth brings about more pain... Yeah, it's not Amiya's responsibility. I mean, she may be the king of sarcasm title, but... You know... She is... technically an outsider. So it's not her responsibility. Dr. Misaki. You can be afraid, Amiya. I'm afraid too, Amiya. You know, I'm afraid too, Amiya. But we will walk onwards together. Yeah. Dr. Misaki, together. Let's look for the answer. This is also an answer I need. I apologize for interrupting you. There's an urgent matter concerning Vina, as well as our self-salvation course. Based on a letter from Lady Heidi, we've confirmed that this matter relates to you. Dr. Misaki, is Edward Artorius' relic in your possession? I don't know who Edward Artorius is. What does the relic look like? I mean, I might have it on my possession, but I don't know. Oh! The end! But not really, because this is the end. Ah yes, sparks afar. And out from the ashes climbs a well, sweeping on a Draco's flames. Oh my, flames, huh? Next, turn your textbooks to page 132. Tehran Calendar 31, the Empire of Hippogriff was officially renamed the Empire of Ursus. We've already spent 2 lectures talking about and analyzing this piece of history. Historians believe that the cause of the Hippogriff's fall from power was primarily its ruling class's corruption and incompetence, as well as the rise of Ursus and the forces of production that it represents. This war is often referred to as Ursus' uprising, representing the ancients standing up against the elders' authority. From this point onward, the legitimacy of the elders' rulership across Terra gradually waned. Yet, if we look back on this war from a different perspective, we'll find a set of questions that naturally follow. Suppose it was another Ursus race that had been ruling the country instead of the Hippogriffs. Would the revolution still have taken place? If, as the rulers, the Hippogriffs had not insisted on a policy of racial discrimination, if they stopped taking Ursus wealth as their own and gave the Ursus equal opportunity, would the Hippogriff Empire's downfall have been averted? Or would it have come sooner? What if the Kagan's cavalry never set foot on these lands? Tallulah? What? Hello. Are you here to listen in on Miss Hoshelna's lecture? Miss Hoshelna? That's right. Her lectures on Imperial history are very popular. I've been noticing young men and women such as yourself listening in from the hallway. You aren't one of our students, are you? You don't look like a college student. You can actually go inside if you like. He's not going to mind if you stand in the back of the classroom. You'll be able to hear her more clearly.
No need. Her voice is pretty clear as is.
Okay then. The lecture's almost over anyway. I still have other lectures to attend, so please excuse me.
By all means, please.
You may not be able to find answers to these questions in any textbooks, but I hope you will give them some thought. Let them occupy your brain as you eat, as you bathe, and even as you sleep.
Oh man,
Those are haunting thoughts. Like, yo, I've had things that haunted me or specific thoughts that occupied my brain as I ate, bathed, sleep, yada yada yada. And oh my goodness, that was just like, get out of my head. But, you know, this might be okay because she's just trying to get them to learn. But when it actually does happen, oof, it's haunting. And especially if the thought just haunts you for like months on end. Then it's like, erg, the big oof. I mean, there's some respite, like playing games, but then eventually the thought comes back. And it's like, get out of my brain, please. And when an idea has lingered in your brain long enough, write it down. I'm very interested in your opinions. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Enjoy your brief freedom until the next bell. Hello, ma'am. She looks cool. I love her outfit. Like, I really, really, really love her outfit. She looks so cool. I want her, you know? Hello, teacher. I will attend your lessons all the time, and if you want those thoughts to be in my head as I eat, bathe, sleep, you know, I'm willing. If it's you the one saying it, sure. Ah, yes. Oh gosh. That's Kashchi right now? Oh no. Oof. Do you have any questions, miss?
found you.
Creepy uncle's got good taste, though. I feel bad for that person, but I don't blame creepy uncle for being like, hey, if I can't have Tallulah, you know, let's be this beautiful lady. This beautiful teacher lady, heck yeah.
Why did she go into the city? To look for someone. And why is this someone worth the risk? 9. You said it yourself. We can't get anywhere close to the nomadic cities while we're in Ursus. We want to pass judgment on her, don't we? Before she talks, she needs an answer still. Without this answer, she won't even believe half a word she says herself, and neither will we. We shouldn't be believing her to begin with. She went into the city herself. What if she makes a run for it? All the efforts and sacrifices that went into rescuing her, and all of our plans about her going forward will all go to waste.
They won't.
She knows very well that she has nowhere to go. Besides, as long as you still trust me, I can guarantee you this. No matter where she goes, I will take her in again. I trust you. But that's based on everything you've done for us in the past year. You're not like her. You don't talk big. This is something that all of us like about you. It's a good thing. And you should make sure you don't start picking up that habit. Are you worried I'll be influenced by her? I don't think it'll happen so easily. 9. A patrol unit is approaching. Stay hidden. Just as we predicted, in half an hour, this route won't be so safe anymore. She better come back in time. I thought I would have seen you much sooner, Tallulah.
I mean, I was surprised about Tallulah, but seeing Reunion too, nah. Because Tallulah's face was... If Tallulah's here, of course they're gonna be here too.
Koshelna. Couldn't have picked a more obvious name, could you, Cash J? Ah, names. Names are just a way to refer to people. If the sound of this name reminds you of a certain unpleasant memories, you can call me Violette. Never mind. Your name is of little importance to me. Just like your appearance, your name is not worth remembering. Why have you come then, Tallulah? Because you want a definite answer from me? Because you want me to tell you that, yes, Cash J has left your body, and you're just Tallulah and no one else? In that case, you will get what you want. I can tell you exactly what you want to hear right now. The question is, are you willing to believe me? You want me to believe a black snake? Is this a new trick you're playing, Cash J? You gave me more than enough information to find you in the shortest amount of time. I can only assume that you were luring me here. Have you gone back to our home then? Our home, both yours and mine? That's not my home. It's nothing more than the ground zero of a conspiracy, a nest beloved of venomous snakes. That's an awfully hurtful way to describe it. But you read my letter nonetheless, didn't you? You remember the channels through which Duke Cash J received the Scales correspondence? Not even the secret police who took over the dukedom could figure it out. A letter sent 10 years ago, and its sender is tenured here at this college. I don't know if I should be gasping in admiration of how well prepared you are, or if I should be grateful that this channel stayed hidden for 10 years, while your scales have long been reduced to nothing. I mean, at this point, yeah, hello, Koshelna, or hello, teacher. Ah, yes. Wonderful, not wonderful, sensei, but such a smart decision to become her. Does it make you happy that the territory has fallen to such neglect? Tallulah, under your rule, they could have lived a much better life. They shouldn't have been torn to shreds by the Fourth Army. Stop pretending you care about them any more than I do. Tell me, what is there in this small northern town for you to willingly stay here? Cash J, if I remember correctly, you preferred cities further south. Not only because the air there is more humid, but also because lands where you cultivated generations of authority are more suitable for your scheming. But not the tundra. The folk here lead a hard life. They have plenty to worry about sorting out issues with their food and harvest. To them, the speeches you pride yourself on are like the artificial flower you wear, no purpose beyond aesthetics. Tallulah, Tallulah. What if I told you I'm here because your footsteps can be found in the tundra? I'd say you're feeding me nonsense. The history of humanity is a history of struggle. You remember, don't you? And also, it really makes sense that he took over teacher. Cash J loves monologuing. He monologued so hard that Tallulah slashed him down. But as a teacher, he's allowed to monologue, especially a college professor. Some classes are 3 hours, so Koshelna's probably having the time of her life. Like, ah yes, I get to monologue for hours on end. Yay! You remember, don't you? You applied everything that I taught you through the years to your struggle. If you remember all that, then shouldn't Tallulah, the fighter of the tundra, and Tallulah, the woman who succeeded the title of Duke, be one and the same to me? Yet you destroyed everything that I built in the tundra. Current Tallulah is a lot more expression-wise, let's see, what's the word for it? Calm and serious. Like back then, she was a lot more happy with her wifey. Did I? Who do you truly blame for this series of fatal mistakes in your heart? If you actually thought yourself innocent, you wouldn't have needed a year and a half to ponder how you should die. The very moment your head turns, you will throw yourself into the next struggle. Tallulah, I know why you came to me. You want to use your judgment on me to judge yourself. You want to hear me repent so that you can start repenting yourself. What you want is a tiny, pitiable bit of mental comfort. Go on. You want me to go on? You thought I would let you witness my fury? No, Cash J. You don't deserve it. I've rehearsed everything you've said up to this very moment in my head, down to the very last word. A year and a half isn't that short, and I had nothing to do while I was imprisoned at Rhodes Island. If you want to survive this meeting, you'll need to say something more original. Very well. I can tell you've gotten more patient thanks to that period of self-imprisonment. But I brought up the tundra not because I wanted to provoke you. Take a look at this school. Look at the students' faces. They believe that the sunlight of May will melt the tundra's snow. They also believe that Ursus, colder and harder than even the tundra, will change beneath their feet. So you're sullying their innocence with your despicable ideas? You think I'm trying to find the next successor among them? No, my dear. I'm just a normal university lecturer. The only things that I impart here are knowledge and ideas. I hold no authority or wealth. Yeah, Tallulah. Koshelna's here to just lecture. This is literally the dream job for her. She gets to monologue for hours on end, all day, every day. If they want authority, they can fight for themselves. If they seek conspiracy, they're free to find the most suitable techniques in my lessons. Man, if I was in Tallulah's shoes right now, I would want to punch Koshelna just because, you know, creepy uncle. Like, how dare you take over my mind? But she's being good, she's talking. Then again, they're at school, so security could be called. Don't want to make a scene. If they want authority, they can fight it for themselves. If they seek a conspiracy, they are free to find the most suitable techniques in my lessons. You want me to believe that the failure you experienced through me devastated you so much you wash your hands of it all? Failure? I never thought of that as a failure. Reunion was not destroyed in Chernobog Core City, and neither was Cash J's plan. Right. You managed to stop Cash J, the war he sought. The war that could have changed Ursus' history in an instant never came to be. But Ursus still went on the trajectory that Cash J had set for her. War is happening. The conflict between the Council and the army intensified, and the will of the people is sparking new flames through each and every conflict. And I will stand atop the most fertile soil, sowing seeds to the best of my abilities. I will guide, or perhaps, I should say, spur these revolutions to take root. I remember you once refuted the education of the masses as meaningless. If a ruler is so inflexible that she does not adapt to the changing tides, then she is undoubtedly following a path of destruction. You still see yourself as a ruler, I see. You actually haven't changed at all. I almost forgot you hated that word as much as you hated Cash J's control. I told you long ago that I didn't care who was in charge. How many times has power changed hands since the Ursus took these lands from the Hippogriffs? Tallulah, you are me, and I am you. What we want is an Ursus that can yet spark fires from our hands. These fires will sooner or later engulf all of Ursus. No, not just Ursus, Victoria, and all the other countries will be caught in the flames too. Oh man, I'd be like, I ain't like you, Koshelna. Slap. But no, that'd be kind of rude. I mean, yeah, she is talking like her, and
Kashi are different people, which, I mean, technically is true.
When the fire is over, will these lands become more prosperous? Or will they be dealt destruction? Ursus has walked its first millennium. I will guide it down its second and third. This is the meaning behind the Black Snake's existence. The Black Snake is immortal not because I want to live, but because Ursus must live.
Like, Kashi is a black snake, but Koshelna, she's an instructor. Ooh, is this the mysterious sister? The leader? Purple flames.
The Aslan heir has returned to Londinium.
It seems that way. The Sarkas gave us this information in exchange for the Sarkas messenger we returned to them.
In exchange, they're merely using us to escalate the scuffle among the dukes.
It couldn't be more obvious, but we can also tell from their methods that the situation in Londinium has changed, and the Sarkas are anxious.
Did the Sarkas say anything else?
Nothing useful. Ever since our spy's cover was blown, we haven't gotten much news from Londinium.
Unfortunate.
Right. It's unfortunate. Fortunately, our losses are still manageable. Right, there's another piece of news that might be important. We caught wind of this from a Colombian arms dealer we worked with. And the Black Snake's view in its own existence, I think it's just there to do whatever it wants. It's gonna live forever just to do whatever it wants. It's like, eh. If I feel like dying, maybe I will, but I don't feel like it. I feel like preaching. I feel like monologuing to everyone. You cannot stop the monologue. It's an eternal monologue. Not even death will stop my monologue. About a month ago, that organization called Reunion recovered their previous leader.
You mean?
Tallulah. If all the information we've received thus far is correct, she could very well be a Draco. I mean, she got flames. You having a laugh? No fun in here now?
Why would I do that?
Give me a slap.
I'm sorry.
Smack me right now, otherwise I might think I'm dreaming.
There's a wall over there. Knock yourself out. Try not to ram it so hard you knock it down, though. Otherwise, you'll have some explaining to do to the county's mounted police.
I'm not sure what to say.
Are you really so shocked? You were there. You're the one who's been going, leaders got to be alive, day in and day out.
Oh, so they're half. I mean, they're technically still dragon.
But I thought I could. You thought she'd be waiting for you to rescue her somewhere?
Uh-huh. But it's more of a surprise knowing she made it out. Thanks, Chen Chen. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have met Rhodes Island. If I hadn't met Rhodes Island, they wouldn't have helped her get out. I'm so happy. Wah!
No hugging!
Wah, but I'm so glad.
At the very least, a little less of a squeeze.
Erg. Wait, Chen Chen. Does that mean you're gonna leave then? You promised to help me rescue her, but she doesn't need me to rescue her anymore.
Times like these, you think pretty fast, don't you? To tell you the truth, I've thought about it ever since I found out she'd escaped. I've been thinking of looking for her.
Actually, I can kinda tell.
Tian Huichie never gives up halfway. We've come so far and finally found ourselves some clues. Bagpipe. I'll get to the bottom of this with you. Until the day the Spectre Force is exposed for all to see again. Only then will I do what I should have done long ago. I will find Tallulah. The 3 Dracos technically? I mean, they use flames. I don't really know too much about Dracos, that's why I just think of them as using flames. Just fire. Think, Tallulah. With all the techniques that you learned from Cash J, whether everything I say comes from the bottom of my heart, no need. Will you kill me here then? You had to avoid the Royal Guard's watchful eyes, so you don't have a sword. And so, you must kill me with your flames. Will you commit such a horrifying crime in front of all my students, who have nothing but admiration for me? If I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't pick a method that would startle anyone. Don't forget, you taught me all this. Will killing me satisfy you? If that doesn't give you the satisfaction you need, I could give you a second, if not a third name. You're telling me that, aside from you, there is still more than one black snake within Ursus's borders. You could also think that I'm trying to deceive you to live longer. Your new body is fragile. It wouldn't take any more work to kill you than it took to kill that old Vidya. What are you waiting for then? Quick, turn my body to ash and scatter it all across this dark hallway. Terrifying infected murderer reemerges in college campus. That's the headline that will don the front pages tomorrow. You wouldn't mind having that on your reputation. I should point out that I'm not afraid of the patrol unit. We'll be here in 3 minutes either. But your new old friends who are waiting outside the city, they don't stand a chance against the Royal Guards. Even if they begrudgingly allowed you to return to Ursus because of those in control, they wouldn't tolerate murdering anyone in Ursus land. Cash J, if the Royal Guards found out that the immortal monster, the mastermind behind the Chernobog incident, was right here, do you think they would try to take me in? Or turn their attention and blades to you? So why haven't you killed me yet? It's almost time. She's not back yet? 9. You're mistaken about her, aren't you? If she doesn't show up when it's time, all of you will evacuate as planned. And you? She's wearing my handcuffs, and that makes her my prisoner. I will take her in myself. Sounds like I saved you the trouble then. Tallulah. You're back, not a minute late either. Is your business done? More or less. So? You want to know what I got out of her? I was going to spare your ears my long-winded grumblings. Good. You seem to have lightened up, even found yourself a sense of humor. So, what about the evil god? Did you slay him? She said that's not who she is anymore. And you bought it? No, but I am also not the old Tallulah who would think of killing her would solve all of our problems. I won't let her out of my sight, and when the time comes, I will kill her myself. But I have a weird feeling about this. A weird feeling? An immortal evil god will die eventually, but I won't be the one to kill her. Ursus will kill her. Even now, he thinks she can bend human at will. We will prove to her, though. One day, the people will awaken and abandon the ignorant conqueror. And on that day, there will be no more black snakes in Ursus. I hope what she's saying is gonna come true. It's gonna be funny.
If Ursus itself is like, nah, we don't want your preachings anymore.
What about now then? Now, before we come back here for the last time, we need to visit Victoria. So you've decided to come with us? I'm your prisoner. I have nowhere to go except with you. Besides, you said it yourself. The infected there are waiting for us.
Dang though, Cache or... I mean, Koshelna. Koshelna though. I don't like Cache, but... I gotta admit, his taste and choosing, you know... bodies is pretty... legit. Like, I can't blame him. What do I think Reunion will bring to Victoria? I think it's gonna be fun having 9 here. Like, I trust 9. She cool. Cause yeah, 9 is cool to me. So she'll be great here. Cause I'm sure she'll help out like the peoples. I believe in her. So that was cool getting past Shatterpoint. So the next part that I will do, instead of episode 11, Return to the Mist, I will do the event. Because events are best. And then I'll at least do 1 multi-pull for the event. Like at the very least, I want the smug cat. The smug green cat. But yeah, Shatterpoint's ending was dang, that cliffhanger back in Victoria though. I want to know what more W's gonna say. But I will find out later. To celebrate finishing Shatterpoint, I'm gonna drink a big cup of chocolate milk. I'm gonna steal my little bro's chocolate milk. He gets like or my parents get him like pre-mixed chocolate milk. And it tastes so good. I love it. I love it more than my regular whole milk plus Ovaltine powder. Your really mixed chocolate milk is just top tier. So I will steal a big cup. Heh. So thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and epic gacha luck. I shall have my victory chocolate milk. Bye bye. Delicious chocolate milk.